What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. 4 Fate Chapter 76. Shuoyue clan. In the tranquility of taking the wind, Kyosuke and others immediately retreated and rushed towards Konoha's base camp. There is still a long way to the base camp, they need to speed up, and there is not much time left for them. After traveling for a while, Joey suddenly said, "The Watermelon Mountain pufferfish ghosts are approaching, and my bugs told me that they are back." Unexpectedly, the two bereaved dogs actually killed a carbine. It was obvious that they came to hunt them down. Family losing dog. Shinzuki cursed and said, "We are going to speed up, Mad Dai, and leave with the three young men. Here we are after the break." Yes. Although Mad Dai was weak, he still had a strong fighting spirit. He knew what to do at this time and didn't talk too much nonsense. He took Kai and the others and left, while Joey and Shinjia slowed down and hung behind. Fog began to appear around, and there was a trace of coolness, and his expression changed after taking the wind, and said, "Be careful, the limit of blood in Wuyin village is here. There are many blood succession boundaries in Wuyin village. Rong Dun, Boiling Dun, Bing Dun, and Skeleton Veins are all their blood succession boundary ninjas. Rong Dun and Boiling Dun represent that the ninja is the next 5 generations of Shui Ying Jiao Mei Ming. Bing Dun is not cutting the white around him, and the corpse is Junmaro. Anyway, there is no ninja that is easy to deal with." Click. Click. The surrounding trees formed a layer of hoar frost, and the cold air was pressing. The three of them exhaled white air and took the wind and said, "Be careful, it's the ice escape of the Shuozuki clan in Wuyin village. If you are not careful, you may be frozen. Stand up." Understood. Joey also nodded. He didn't like this environment very much, because his insects were not cold tolerant. A flame came out of Chingsuk's body, and Kifeng and Joey felt the warmth, nodded, and said, "What a good boy. I know to keep him warm, but now this is not the time to care about this. The ninja of Konoha can actually kill the 7 ninja swordsmen of our Wuyin village. Let us Mizuki to tell you that Wuyin is so powerful." The sound came from all directions, the wind-storing ears moved. Joey and Kyosuke, who grabbed one side, jumped away. A large number of fine needles were inserted where they were just standing. If you look closely, these needles are made of ice, into hot. Taking the wind patted the hand that he was holding Kyosuke, and it was scalded. Advertisement, "Sorry, I hate this environment." "I hate it too. Captain Qfeng, I heard that the Shui Wuyue clan are all sissy girls, isn't it like this?" Shinzuki asked suddenly. "Yes, they are all sissy, even if they don't wear women's clothing, they are easy to be regarded as women. I heard that some people with special hobbies are good for this. The wind looks simple and honest, and plays with the 3rd generation of Hokage. After a long time, it is still a bit boring." ***hole. The ninja Mizuzuki who was hiding in the dark cursed, "Damn Konoha ninja, I will definitely kill you." Click. Click. The cold was pressing, and the surrounding woods, which had been wet because of the rain, froze all of a sudden. Looking around, there was rime on the leaves, and the leaves were all white. Bing Dun Yan Shushui. Countless shurikens frozen in ice flew from all directions. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, Yanjia Yanzu. Kyosuke's body rotated, and the flames above his hands formed a pillar of fire, protecting the remaining 2 people in the center. The ice shuriken hit the pillar of fire, all melted and evaporated into water vapor. Among the pillars of fire, Kyosuke released a snake and burrowed into the ground. He withdrew from the pillar of fire. Mizuki Ninja said, "What a peculiar ability. This is the special physique similar to that of the Ghost Lamp clan reported by the Watermelon Mountain pufferfish. Jian can use ninjutsu, which seems to be of great research value." This person already wanted to tie up Shinzuki and put it on the operating table. Shinzuki snorted and said, "You can only hide in the dark, you have the ability to come out. What do you know? A ninja is someone who was assassinated secretly." Mizuki Ninja smiled. "You are still too young, kid. Assassination. You don't even know what a perfect assassination is." Perfect assassination. Not only the people of the Shui Wuyue clan, but even Qfeng and Joey also looked over. He coughed, cleared his throat, and said, "The so-called perfect assassination is to kill all the witnesses. Don't assassinate, go to Wushuang. How can there be so much time in life for you to sneak in? What's the use of sneaking in? Wouldn't it be discovered? Cut him if he is found, or zoom in if he fails, until everyone is killed." For a while, no one answered. Advertisement. The secret Mizuki Ninja was stunned. Is there any reason for this? Fallacy. He reacted and yelled, "Evil Way. You are Evil Way." But he couldn't find a reason to refute, because thinking about it, it really makes sense. But few people in this world can do it. After taking the wind and coughing, he said earnestly, "Shinjia, if you do this, you will be exhausted when you perform the task. Ninjas are particular about a one-shot kill. They will never jump out if they can poison them. They will never use ninjutsu if they can use traps. Try to avoid revealing their own intelligence and at the same time kill their opponents." Found it. Kyosuke suddenly smiled. The hidden shadow has more snake hands. A large number of snakes rushed out of his cuffs, and at the same time, UNVG Wei, who was still educating Shinzuki, and UNVG Wei, who had been silent, also followed and attacked. The snake he released found the target. Snakes have heat sensitivity, and in such a cold situation, it is naturally easy to perceive Mizuzuki ninjas outside of Kyosuke. Bing Dun. Sen Lang's cold air froze those big snakes, and together with Joey's bugs, the fist that fetched the wind suddenly enlarged, smashed out with one punch, and hit the target. A figure rolled down on a tree, coughing, wearing the clothes of a misty ninja, with a misty forehead on his head, a face regardless of gender, long and straight, and unsightly. Coughing up a mouthful of blood, the punch that just took the wind, I don't know how many bones were interrupted, and his whole body was as uncomfortable as being hit by a rampant truck. How did you find me? He asked. He is very concealed. It is impossible for him to find himself if he is not a perceptual ninja. How did this group of people find themselves? I saw a snake climbing on Kiyomizu's trouser legs and came to his palm, listening to him say, "Don't you know? Snakes have a heat sensor. Finding a person with normal body temperature in this low temperature environment couldn't be easier. A snake doesn't hibernate because of the low temperature." You. Ku Feng no longer gave him a chance to talk nonsense, and broke his neck with his hand. Chapter 77. Chakra. There won't be only one chasing soldier, Ku Feng said. The chasing soldier is definitely not the only idiot in front of him, there should be many others. Let's go first. There's no need to stay here anymore. This is not Konoha's territory. Come and leave if you want. After installing the corpse of Mizuki Ninja, he left immediately, and soon afterwards, a large number of figures appeared behind him, and the fog around him became extremely thick. That idiot Mizuki-lan, let him slow down and just don't listen. Isn't that okay? It's so easy to be killed by Konoha's ninja, it really loses our face as a misty ninja. The speaker has gray hair, 2 red dots on his eyebrows, and dark red eye circles. The person who heard the wind said in a deep voice, it's a member of the Huye clan. One after another, figures appeared, not only from the Wei Yi clan, but also from the Shui Wu Yu clan and other misty ninjas. These guys surrounded the 3 of them, leaving them no way out. He took the wind and said solemnly, strike, the technique of doubling. Instantly transformed into a giant bomb tank. The body rolled into a ball, and then quickly rolled out, while Yu Enbijue and Kyosuke quickly followed. Stop them. The misty ninja immediately launched an action, to stop the attack of taking the wind, but the speed of the meat bomb chariot was extremely fast, and it had a super impact force, it abruptly smashed a path. I come. The watermelon mountain puffer fish ghost appeared, did not use the shark muscles and still maintained a human form. With his hands against the meat bomb chariot, the shark muscles transported chakras to him behind his back, and actually stopped the attack of taking the wind. Sneered and said, it's not. Before he finished speaking, he stretched out a hand, tightly grasped his body, spit out a mouthful of blood, the back of the shark muscle stretched out spikes, took the wind and pained, and let go of his hand. Kyosuke rushed out from behind him. The watermelon mountain pufferfish ghost immediately waved the shark muscles and cut off Kyosuke's head at once, but still did not stop him from moving forward, and exploded under his horrified gaze. Boom. The watermelon pufferfish ghost's body flew out all of a sudden, and together with the shark muscle, Kyosuke's pale complexion reorganized his body, chased after it, and grabbed the shark muscle. The shark muscle possesses self-awareness and life. Naturally, it is impossible for him to control himself. The spikes appeared on the tail immediately, penetrating Chingsuke's palm, but it was a pity that the flame penetrated and there was nothing. I also burned it myself. Under the pain, his body was constantly twisting, trying to get rid of his palm, but Kyosuke held it tightly and said, quiet. Grasping the shark muscle, slammed it hard on the ground, several times in a row, slammed the shark muscle, making a woo-woo sound. Hand over the chakra you ate. Advertisement: the chakra eaten by the shark muscle can feed back to the owner. He happens to be chakra right now. The shark muscle is here, so he has to grab it. The shark muscle shook his head, unwilling. What a joke, it has eaten so many delicious chakras. If you want it, it is also a shark muscle, it doesn't need face. Hand over the shark muscle. A misty ninja came to kill, spit out a stream of water. Shinzuki picked up the shark muscle, the ninjutsu was swallowed by the shark muscle, and he burped. The misty ninja asked this. Where is the ninja sword recovery scroll? Quickly send the shark muscle back to the psychic. Report. The ninja sword recovery scroll is still in the camp. This. Then get the shark muscle back. Yes. Give me the chakra. Shinzuki was still asking the shark muscle to hand over the chakra, burning flames in his palm, instantly turning the shark muscle into a ball of fire. The shark muscle opened his mouth and swallowed the flames, but it was getting hotter and hotter, and his body couldn't help twisting, but he couldn't break away and escape. In the end, he could only compromise and pour the chakra he had devoured into Kyosuke's body. Feeling that the chakra in the body is filled again, and it is a lot more than before, nodded in satisfaction, but did not loosen the shark muscle, but used it as his own weapon. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Damn it. Water escape: the art of water dragon bomb. A water dragon threw its teeth and claws. Kyosuke waved the shark muscle and said, the shark muscle is ready, snacks are here. The shark muscle opened his mouth, swallowed the rushing water dragon cleanly, and twisted his body with satisfaction. The taste of chakra was okay. This kid's weakness is shui dun. Once he encounters water, his body will become materialized, Wooly Jinba suddenly said, and immediately saw several ninjas begin to seal. Water escape, bursting water rushing waves. Water escape: the art of the great waterfall. Water escape water tooth bomb. Kyosuke immediately jumped up and got rid of a misty ninja with the wind. One hand became bigger, caught him, and then jumped onto a tree. The forest is submerged again, and with this water, the combat effectiveness of the misty ninja will rise again. Ice escape secret technique: mirror ice crystal. Pieces of ice mirrors surround Shinzuki, forming an igloo. A figure appears in the ice mirrors, and there is his figure in every ice mirror. Thinking that this will kill me? It's really underestimating me. Advertisement: after that, a large amount of flames rushed out of him, instantly flooding the entire igloo. The high temperature melted the igloo, forcing the Mizuzuki ninja who was about to sneak attack him back. UNVG Wei and Feng Feng were besieged. Shinzuki immediately went to support, chopped down a misty ninja with shark muscles, and said, "Let's go, Captain Feng Feng. Go." Mirror flames. A sea of fire was released, and many misty ninjas were forced back, and the three of them immediately fled. Can't let them go. Chase. Live to see people, dead to see corpses. The shark muscle is still in their hands. They yelled and chased up, and Shinzuki and Yunazi slightly attacked, harassing them, and hurried on their way. When ninjutsu strikes, Kyosuke will use shark muscle to eat all those ninjutsu. Ninfa missed hidden technique. The thick fog struck, and the road ahead suddenly became difficult to discern. Wind escape big breakthrough. It was originally an ordinary sea-level ninjutsu, but this time, with the blessing of the shark muscle chakra, Kyosuke exerted a lot of power. The power of ninjutsu has little to do with the level, but actually has a certain relationship with the output of chakra. It is like the extinguishing fire used by Lord Madara. It is obviously only a B-level ninjutsu, but its power is comparable to that of an S-level. If you want to resist, you need a class of water escape ninjas. This is the gap in strength. With the blessing of the shark muscle chakra, the power of this wind escape that Shinzuki used has been strengthened a lot, like a strong wind passing through the border, blowing away the dense fog. Those who find the way move forward immediately. The three retreat methodically, but the mist behind them is not vegetarian. Bing done. Water escape, bone veins. The attack was imminent, and today, the mist is determined to kill them. Chapter 78 Chase. The attack of the misty ninja is just like a meteor shower, flying in non-stop. Shui Dun water ray pillar. A misty ninja suffocated his big move, and opened his mouth as a torrent that opened the gate of a reservoir, venting out, carrying a terrible impact, and hitting three of them. Ku Feng stretched out his hand and grabbed the nearest UNVG Wei, but it was too late for Shinzuki. Shinzuki, he yelled. Shinzuki turned around and said loudly, "Captain, you guys retreat. They can't catch me." He took a deep breath, grabbed the shark muscle and dived into the water, letting the shark muscle take himself out of here. "Ming, you lead someone to bring me Konoha's little ghost." The commander of Wuyan gave the order, and the three figures rushed out immediately, chasing in the direction where Shinzuki had left, while the commander was chasing Feng them. On the other side, Shinzuki, who ran away along the current, dived into the river and moved up against the current, relying on the shark muscles, swimming quickly in the water, floating up and making bubbles from time to time. He didn't choose to blend with the shark's muscles. Although blending with it, he can become a half man, half fish, he can breathe freely in the water, and it can also increase his combat effectiveness. It's just that if he doesn't, his body might be caught by the shark. Muscle control and runaway. Without a powerful chakra suppression, and with a certain strength, he can't suppress the shark muscle. He can control the shark muscle because this guy is afraid of being hot. Can only say that bullying the soft and afraid of hard things. Now I have to run quickly, otherwise if the misty ninja catches up, he will be very uncomfortable, especially now that his body is still in a state of materialization. There is no shortage of chakras. The Watermelon Mountain Blowfish ghosts have been collecting in useless chakras on the shark muscles, and some of them are passed on to himself. He now has a mobile charging treasure, which is extremely easy to use. Feeling almost done, Kyosuke floated up to the surface, climbed onto the shore, supported the tree, gasped for a moment, evaporated the water on his body, and left with the shark's muscles on his back. Shoo! The shuriken flew. Kyosuke waved the shark muscle, flew the sword in his hand, and looked up at the tree. On the tree not far away, two men and a woman were standing on the tree. What he cares most about is the girl, with long curly brown hair similar to the Watermelon Mountain pufferfish ghost, fair skin, delicate and beautiful appearance, a little more beautiful than Yakura, a pair of green eyes a bit sharp, she looks about the age of himself size. "Hey, Foggy chasing soldiers. But is it a bit too big to let the three of you come?" He pointed at the three of you with a shark muscle and smiled. As long as it wasn't the three tops, he was not afraid at all. Advertisement, arrogant. "We are not ordinary misty ninjas, Master Ming, please let me kill him." The short gray hair beside the girl said the young man with tiger teeth. "I want to." Another young man stuck out a sharp bone spur from his palm, obviously from the Huye clan. "Zan Yu, Takitori, don't act rashly. Zan Yu, his body is very similar to yours, so don't act rashly." The ghost lamp Xuanyue said dissatisfied. "Master Ming, are you underestimating me? The hydration mystery of our ghost lamp clan is not comparable to this counterfeit. Are you optimistic?" Without saying anything, he pulled out the shinobi sword behind him and rushed out. "Master Ming, don't care about him?" Wei Yi Bamboo asked. "Forget it, you also know his temper. If you made up your mind, it's not something we can call back. Let's watch it first, Takitori, you restrain yourself. We're here to catch him, not to kill him." "Yes." Huie Takitori nodded, looking at the girl's eyes with respect and admiration. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The ghost Deng Xuanyue approached Shinzuki as quickly as possible and slashed at him. Kyosuke was beaten back again and again, his wrists numb, a lot of strength. Looking at the ghost lamp Xuanyue in front of me, his arm holding the knife has become a lot bigger, a lot thicker than his left arm. Water escape. The art of the powerful water wrist. Concentrate the body's moisture on the arm, then strengthen the arm, and use it with the shinobi sword to generate a strange force that is enough to cut off the iron gate in the rock wall. Qingjia looked at his arm with an inexplicable expression and said, "Young man, be restrained. Look at how thick your arms are. The unicorn arm is not what you did." Gui Deng Zan Yu was taken aback. pointed the knife at Shinzuki, and said, "Hey, what are you talking about there alone? Give it to me, it belongs to me." "Oh, it's a big tone. Would you say is yours? Don't be ashamed," you scream, "do you think it will agree? Huh. I will kill you. Snatch it from your hand." The Hao Shui wrist technique was lifted, and the palms returned to normal size. Holding the knife in both hands, the ghost lamp Xuanyue rushed over, and the long knife pierced straight. Kyosuke took the shark muscle and said, "I will roast you if I don't obey." Woohoo! Advertisement Kaiju let out an unwilling call, forced to obey Kyosuke's threat. Good boy. Grabbing the shark muscle, he swung it hard. Clang! Ghost Dang Xuanyue stepped back, the ninja sword in her hand trembled, her hands were numb, very uncomfortable, and said, "You can actually control the mackerel muscle? If you can't control the shark muscle would have pierced his hand with a thorn. Not only that, but it can also drive the shark muscle to fight." This guy. A haze flashed in his eyes, and he smiled suddenly. "I heard that you were afraid of water escape. Unfortunately, what I am best at is water escape." Shinzuki raised his eyebrows, and when he saw Jian, he raised his hand and burst into flames. Water escape, the art of water-tooth bullet. The flame and water collided. This time the water extinguished the flame and rushed towards him. The shark muscle opened his mouth and swallowed it in one bite. Good job. Kyosuke laughed loudly and fire punch. A huge flame fist struck, and the ghost lamp Xuanyue hurriedly closed the seal, Shui Dun water array. Divert the water from the river where he is good at and turn it into a wall to block the attack for himself. Suddenly, he saw a figure rushing forward, and Shijimusa's body tore through the wall of the water, revealing Kyosuke's grinning face. Shijimusa slammed down suddenly. Before he could hold his knife to stop him, Ghost Dang Xuanyue turned into a pool of water. This is the water body? Kyosuke looked at the water on the ground and shook his head, looked at the girl on the tree and Kagaya Takitori, and said, "You will be next." He dragged the shark muscle and walked on the ground, crossing the pool of water. The pool of water slowly turned into the appearance of a ghost lamp Xuanyue. Seeing Shinsuke's back with a sneer, he raised both hands, making them pistol-like, and pointed at the back of Shinsuke's heart and head. Whispered softly, "Go to hell, water escape water iron cannon archwanding." There is no need for Jian. This is the secret ninjutsu passed down from generation to generation by the ghost lamp family, and bullets with extremely strong penetration are shot out instantly. Chapter 79. Terumi Mei, water escape water iron cannon archwanding. Bullets that looked like armor-piercing bullets shot at Swift and penetrated his body. Bang! Shinsuke's body disappeared suddenly, and Ghost Dang Xuanyue immediately reacted as a shadow clone. Immediately looking back, Kyosuke crawled out of the ground behind him. "Yeah, I had a good time." "When?" He immediately jumped back and said, "Did you hide in the dirt when you attacked me?" "Of course." Kyosuke shrugged his shoulders and said with a smile, "So you were from the Ghost Lamp clan, this is easier to handle, Lei Dun." Upon hearing Lei Dun, Gui Dang Xuanyue's eyelids jumped, and she immediately retreated. Lei Dun had a very strong suppressive force on the body of the Gui Dang clan, and the other party had already completed the seal, Lei Dun Kirin. Afterwards, a large piece of flame was punched out, which was not the thunder escape in imagination at all. Water escape waterfront wall. Actually lied to me. Gui Dang Zanyu was shocked and angry. He was actually played as a fool, which made it difficult for him to accept. This is the girl named Ming Sama by him, and Huie Takitori brought Huie Takitori to his side and said, "Enough, Xuanyue, you can't deal with him. This person is more difficult than we thought. I have to deal with it a lot." "Huh, I just careless." Huie Bamboo snorted, "Enough, Zanyu, don't be ashamed. This is in front of Master Ming." He looked at Shinzuki and said, "Konoha's ninja, your name. If you ask me to say it, I just say, don't I lose face. Who do you think you are?" Shinjia digs out his ears, his face is indifferent. "You?" Wei Yi Zutori's face flushed, and he was angry at first sight, with bone spurs appearing on his body. Shinzuki looked at him and said, "It turns out to be from the Huie clan, but your clan's abilities are very expensive. Every time a bone comes out, the clothes will be pierced. If there is no battle, the clothes have to be changed, but it is very troublesome." Puff, advertisement Ming laughed and said to Kyosuke, "You Konoha ninja are really interesting, but now you are fighting, I don't know what you were thinking." "Your measurements." Shinzuki blurted out, making the three on the opposite side dumbfounded. Ming blushed and said angrily, "You don't respect women at all like this." "I respect it, but I am an LSP and I don't need to hide it." "Real men never hide their XP, beautiful lady, can you reveal your name?" Shinzuki coughed and said politely. It was completely different from the second-rate ruffian just now, the change was so huge that none of the three of them could react. My name is Terumi Ming." "Oh, thank you, wait, your name is Terumi Mei?" Kyosuke's eyes stared out. "The one with a remnant figure in front of me will be the future elder sister, Shui Ying of the Five Dynasties?" Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. This. Sure enough, time is really great, and the plains will turn into mountains, and Yi Kang is the one in front of him. I really can't think of why such a beautiful girl can't find a boyfriend and become an older leftover girl. Really, isn't this a waste of resources? Can't find the relationship with her boyfriend because of her corrosive blood succession boundary? Have you heard of me? Terumi Ming looked at Kiyomizu. No, I have never heard of this person. I'm sorry, my friend called me to go back to eat, beautiful lady, meet in the mountains and rivers, goodbye. As he said, he grabbed the shark muscle and ran away immediately. What a joke, these three are all from the blood succession boundary team. Terumi Ming also possesses two completely different blood succession boundaries, and he doesn't want to die. Slipped away. Master Ming, I didn't expect you to have such prestige in Konoha. After hearing your name, you ran away. Ghost Deng Xuanyue said. I just joined the war not long ago. How could I be famous? That person definitely has a problem. He must be caught and chased. What are you still doing in a daze? Terumi Mei decided to ask what she was not a scourge. Advertisement seeing Kyosuke running away in embarrassment, she was a little upset. The three of them chased Kyosuke for a while, and the other side stopped in front of the waterfall. Kagaya Takidori said playfully, Run, why didn't you run? Aren't you good at running? Hey, are you stupid? Are the Huie clan all stupid? How do you go in this situation? Lifting the shark muscle, said, I'm ready to fight to the death, come on. Terumi Ming glanced at Kyosuke appreciatively. He was a decisive man, but it was a pity that he was his mission goal. Kagayatake crossed his arms in front of his chest, and on the tips of his 10 fingers, white phalanxes grew out of them, and they aimed at Kyosuke and shot them out. Bone vein 10 finger piercing bullet. A bullet-like attack, very fast, penetrated Shinsuke's body in an instant, and opened 10 holes in him, each of which was filled with flames. Terumi Ming said, Xuanyue, it's really similar to your clan's secret technique. I am immune to physical attacks, but his body should be restored by chakra. Even if the body of the Ghost Lamp clan is broken, it can be made up by absorbing water, but if it is cleared, it will need chakras. Without chakras, there is no way to unfold the elemental body, let alone repair. But the most indispensable thing he has now is chakra. Ghost Deng Xuanyue said. In their Ghost Lantern clan, many people are masters with ninja swords, and even the establishment of the 7 ninja swords has a certain relationship with their former patriarch, the second generation of Water Shadow Ghost Lantern Magic Moon. He naturally understands the characteristics of shark muscles. The most indispensable thing for people with shark muscles is chakras, and Kiyomizu has now tamed shark muscles, so now he can extract the chakras that have been stored by shark muscles. Moreover, the shark muscles can also absorb ninjutsu. As long as they use ninjutsu, they can be absorbed by the shark muscles. Shinsuke is still immune to physical attacks like himself, and he can't think of any weaknesses. Terumi Mei said, it's impossible for him to stay on all the time. He is different from yours. His state may be a waste of chakra, even with shark muscles. We just need to look for opportunities. Ninja and fog hidden technique. He opened his mouth and breathed out a lot of mist, covering up their presence. Unfortunately, Kyosuke immediately used the wind to blow the dense fog, and there were no 3 people in front of him. Did you run away? No, they still have won the hand. It is impossible to run away suddenly, but I will run away. He smiled, glanced at the waterfall behind him, and then ran down the cliff beside the waterfall. No, he wants to run, chase. The 3 people hiding in the dark were planning to look for opportunities to attack Shinjia, but they didn't expect this guy to turn around and ran away. Mud for Luchir. Chapter 80. Bye-bye you. The 3 of them chased Kyosuke, biting behind them, and then dived into the water. Terumi Ming took the ghost lamp Xuanyue and Huie Takidori and jumped in, but it didn't take long before they jumped out. Wow. A big snake appeared suddenly, opened his big mouth, and wanted to swallow them in one bite. Terumi Ming immediately sealed the seal, solving escape the art of solving monsters. There was a red lip, and the viscous and corrosive acid spit out in one breath, melting the big mouth of the big snake's blood basin, and the corpse fell by the river, and the blood stained the river. I was scared to death. Why did a snake like this suddenly appear in the water? Ghost Deng Xuanyue said, patting her chest. It should be spiritism. The river is not deep, and it is almost impossible for such a big snake to hide from them. It can only be psychic. Kagaya Takidori, did that guy run away? I'll go and see. Ghost Deng Xuanyue dived into the water, but did not find Shinsuke's figure. Terumi Ming. The order from above is to take that guy back alive, so let's find it separately, and use a flare to notify you immediately after you find it, do you understand? Yes. The 3 dispersed and went to other places to find Shinjia. 10 minutes later, the cold snake's corpse suddenly moved. A knife pierced the snake's belly and opened a big cut. Shinjia, who was covered with the snake tissue fluid, walked out. The shark muscle on his hand disappeared, and he has been channeled back by the misty person, but fortunately he had the foresight to let the shark muscle hand over the chakra in his belly when he was in the belly of the big snake, and emptied himself. Chakra made up. Now he is in good spirits. He glanced at the corpse of the big snake and said triumphantly, fortunately, I have the foresight and hid in this guy's belly in advance. When he jumped into the water, he summoned the big snake out and got into its belly as fast as possible. Terumi and the others saw that the big snake opened its mouth not because it wanted to eat them, but just swallowed him in. It's just in the belly. Whether the snake is dead or alive, he can escape. Terumi Ming and the others didn't kill the Orochi, and Orochi could leave in a grand manner. If they are killed, they may want to know their whereabouts more than to think about whether they will be in the belly of the snake. As expected of me, just when he was proud of his cleverness, the grass moved, and Terumi Mei, who had gone and returned, ran back. The 2 had big eyes to small eyes, and the scene was a bit awkward. Kyosuke. Sigma. Degree D degree winking face, advertisement Terumi Ming. An airy summation, O_O winking face. Why did you run back? Shinjia asked. Terumi Ming replied subconsciously, I just thought you couldn't run so fast, so I came back and took a look. I admit that there is an element of gambling in it, but I didn't expect that I would bet right. Shinjia. What is this? Did the blind cat run into dead mice? You were lucky. With a sigh, he said to miming. You will definitely become a powerful ninja in the future, so goodbye. Take a step back and run fast on the surface of the water. Terumi Ming reacted and immediately put a signal bounce into the sky and then followed. Shinzuki speeded up and fled. At this time, he didn't even think about anti-killing. The opponent is Terumi Ming, the next 5th-generation Shui Ying, who has 2 different blood inheritance boundaries and is powerful. Even if it is a young age, it is still not to be underestimated. Hey, girls, don't chase a boy like this, you will be misunderstood. Avoiding Terumi Ming's Mizuden attack, Kyosuke turned back and refilled the gun. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The big shots of Mars fired, and Ling Terumiyuki hid behind the tree and said, "The order above, I just follow the command line. Besides, you are only the target. What's wrong? Really, after all, you are so beautiful. A beautiful girl always attracts people's imagination." Pretty. Terumi Mei's beautiful face blushed, this kind of thing. It's really shy, haha, it's a pity, after being so beautiful, it will be the life of a single life, pitiful. Kyosuke said regretfully, but he remembers that Terumi Ming will become a protruding elder sister in the future, but he has always been single. Terumi Ming. Filled down pointing triangle pan hash. Kill you. She walked out with a smile, but her smile was full of murderousness, kill you. Shinjia. If I go, do I already care about this when I'm just this little old? Are you so anxious to marry yourself when you were just a teenager? Kyosuke swallowed, took a step back, and said, sorry, just as if I didn't say just now, it's dark, I should go back to eat, never see you again, bye-bye. Grease the soles of your feet and slip away. Stop. Shui Dan Shuibo hand. Advertisement opening his hand, a large amount of water rushed out, rushing on Kyosuke's body and knocking him out. It hurts. I felt pain all over the body, but now it's not the time to say it hurts, so I immediately got up. Terumi had already grasped the kunai, and kunai was attached to a layer of water. Ding! Kyosuke picked up kunai, and fought with Terumi Mei, and the two of them fought inextricably for a while. This skill is really amazing. It is worthy of the next 5 generations of Water Shadow. There are no loopholes in physical skills, at least he has not found a flaw. Shulking snake hand. A few snakes flew out, terrified Terumi Ming hurriedly backed away. Kumi cut off the heads of these snakes, separated from Kyosuke, and said, it looks like you were the strongest of the Konoha Cenozoic. Should. Except for Kakashi, no one can beat him. A strong man is also very good, your name, Asakawa Kyosuke. I am Terumi Mei, although you already know it, let me say it again. Oh, is that so? Let's come to the second game, musket? Terumi Mei was preparing to seal the seal, but the musketeer didn't need to seal the seal, and the speed was fast, so he could only hide. Okay, don't chase me, otherwise, I thought you liked me. Hearing his shameless remarks, Terumi Ming did not get angry, but said with some regret, a man like you seems to be good, but we are not in the same village. Why, you from a village are willing to associate with me? Shinjia came to be interested, laughed, this girl is a bit interesting. No, you are only thinking about it. You look handsome, too. Terumi Mei is a face controller, and Kyosuke's face is handsome, which looks pleasing to the eye. I'm handsome, the whole Konoha knows, okay, don't talk nonsense with you, and if you continue nonsense, I can't escape. Shadow clone art. A clone was separated, and the cage clone immediately rushed towards Terumi Mei. Boom. Chapter 81. Persevering Terumi Ming Kyosuke is lost. Well, as a ninja, he got lost. Is there any reason for this? It must be because of Terumi Mei behind him. This woman was chasing after him, making him panic, running around like headless flies. Now it's good, no way back, can't be sure where he is now. Position. I don't have any luck, and why are you still chasing after? He turned his head to look at Terumi Ming who was still behind. This girl has really good perseverance, and she has been chasing it until now. You are my task. Do you think so much about your mission? He said, squatting down on the tree. Terumi Mei also stopped, keeping a safe distance, and said, Mist hides the task as the most important thing. If I can't complete the task, I will be punished when I go back. Wuyan maintains a high-pressure rule and is basically isolated from the world. The village maintains a bloody system. If she fails to complete the task, she is easy to be punished, even if she is a precious ninja. But he won't lose his life. This time, Wu Yin participated in the war and wanted to make a fortune. It's just that he hasn't tasted much sweetness from fighting Konoha. Yesterday, the most important ninja swordsman was even more. 6 were killed, 6. There is only one cold-blooded and merciless woolly Jinba. The 7 ninja swords are Wu Yin's high-end combat power. It is very difficult for a ninja sword to find a suitable owner. Now that it is good, it will be impossible for the 7 nin swords to gather together in a short time. A cherished ninja like Terumi Ming will not let them die, but there must be punishment. Terumi Ming didn't want it, so she wanted to complete the task given to herself above. She wanted to beat Asakawa Kyosuke very much, of course, there is also a competitive spirit in it. Kyosuke is about the same age as her, but the combat power shown by the other party is very terrifying. Several of the 7 ninjas also died in his hands. She wants to see if she can save her life. How big is the gap between himself and him? That's really miserable. Kyosuke laughed. Terumi Mei, who was watching, wanted to beat him up more and more. Huh. Don't even think about running away today. Shui done water turbulence. Kyosuke spit out water, and Kyosuke hurriedly avoided, saying, it's a pity to kill you, but if you don't knock you down, it looks like you won't let me go. That's natural. Advertisement, huh. The law of victory has long been determined. Oh come, Lao Su, third uncle, come on stage. In a strange posture, Kyosuke jumped down, the flames burning on his palms, and with a wave of his arms, 2 spears flew out immediately. Shenhuo Shiranui, water escape waterfront wall. The attacks of the 2 sides cancelled each other out. When Kyosuke raised his hand, the flames burned around, and then rolled into a whirlpool. The air suddenly became hot and terrified. Terumi was horrified. This kind of attack could be completed in an instant, not just without Jujin, the other party's chakra volume is also very scary. Jet flames. Water escape water turbulence. The 2 realized that they couldn't help each other with the technique, so they made a decisive decision and rushed to each other. Kuro no confrontation, sparks splashing, fighting with physical skills, Kyosuke feels that he will never lose. Terumi Ming's physical skills are very strong, better than those of the girls in the same period of Kyosuke. The movements are clean and unobtrusive, and very chic, it is difficult to tell that this is a girl. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The 2 moved the battlefield while fighting. Dissolve and dissolve the acid. Terumi Ming suddenly jumped up and opened her mouth to spit out a lot of strong acid mucus. Seeing this, Kyosuke had to avoid it. The strong acid mucus fell on the grass, and the grass was immediately dissolved into a big hole, but the strong acid mucus did not disappear, but washed out like spring water. Terumi was standing in it and nothing happened, but after the strong acid was washed into the sky, corrosive acid rain formed. Laugh, trees, stones, and land immediately became potholes, and the leaves were deprived of vitality. Kiyomizu was holding his arm, just now this was corroded by acid, if it weren't for running fast, his hand would be gone, but fortunately, only the epidermis had been corroded. The flame formed a protective shield around the body, blocking the falling acid rain from the outside. Take out the bandage and anti-inflammatories from the ninja bag, and roughly put the anti-inflammatories on them. This feeling is really sour and cool, advertisement. Gritting his teeth and enduring the pain, he hurriedly wrapped up the wound with a bandage. The movement outside was much smaller. The flame shield was removed, and Terumi Ming gasped slightly. It seemed that the move did a lot to her chakra consumption. A lot of chakra was wasted to maintain this flame shield. Looking at her, Kyosuke was thinking about tactics, trying to get rid of Terumi Ming's pursuit. You are sure to lose, panting, Terumi Mei said. That's not necessarily true. I will pass the customs for my life. Kyosuke said with a smile. I advise you to run faster, otherwise, it will be ugly to die. Looking at the fire on his body, Terumi Ming's heart sank. She still remembered that the Watermelon Mountain pufferfish ghost died under this trick. She hurriedly closed the seal and yelled, water escape, water burst. On the ground under his feet, a huge water column rushed up, and instantly flooded the surrounding area. Kyosuke immediately extinguished the flame, let the water wash him away, and laughed, this is my escape route. This be ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* She will not let him go, absolutely not, ding ding ding. The two figures shuttled back and forth in the woods, using killer moves with each other. Kyosuke's clothes were in tatters, and there were several wounds on his body, and Terumi Ming, who was on the other side, was unwell. His hair was burned a lot, and there were several holes in his clothes, revealing the wounds. The two fought for a whole day and 2 nights. Terumi Mei is much more cautious than the reckless men of the Ninja 7. She uses long-range attacks and rarely fights with Kyosuke. Even close combat will not entangle too much. After a long time, he continued to attack and hang him, making it impossible to understand. No one cooperated. Shinsuke's destructive power could not be exerted, and the chakras of both of them were about to bottom out. As for, most of Wu Yin and Konoha are fighting again. No one is here to get them, and they have gone deep into the country of waves and have completely lost their way. However, this is not the time to worry about this, they just want to take the other side down. They were fighting on the cliff, with the sea below, and unknowingly, they came to the border of the country of waves. Terumi Mei looked at Kyosuke awkwardly, panting, and said, don't run away. The ocean is below. Asakawa Kyosuke, you have no way out. Kyosuke sneered, it's not always certain who wins, why didn't you fall into the ocean? His current chakra can't use spiritism, even elementalization is difficult to achieve, but if you lose, you can't lose. Chapter 82. Wandering on a deserted island. Your body has reached its limit, you are the most difficult ninja I have ever seen. Terumi Mei is the same, supporting her now with a lot of strength, otherwise, she would have passed out from exhaustion. She is a misty ninja, and she will definitely not lose to Konoha. Men, just want to last. Kyosuke mobilized one of the few chakras and said, Terumi, your strength is very strong. Even if you are still young, it is enough to hold a ninja 7 people. To be honest, if you chase a man, you have this. Energetic, I will never be single in the future. Terumi Ming gritted her teeth, how do you know that I will be single in the future? She is so beautiful, how could she be single in the future? The damn man in front of me has been using this joke all the time. Really, he must have a head when he is joking. Intuition. Trust a man's intuition, girl, ha ha ha. A asterisk hole. Rao is the good upbringing of Terumi Ming's family, and can't help yelling, this man is dead. Kyosuke rushed towards Terumi Mei, kunai spinning at his fingertips, holding it upside down in his hand, and stabbing it straight down. Ding! Terumi Ming blocked and pushed up hard. Shinzuki Kong's door opened wide. She hurriedly caught a flaw and kicked Kyosuke away. Stepping back a few steps, stepping on the edge of the cliff, leaning back, about to fall, A snake flew out of the cuff and grabbed the nearest Terumi Mei. Her body was grabbed all of a sudden. Terumi Ming rushed forward. She didn't have much strength left, and she threw herself on Kyosuke's body, and the two fell from the cliff together. With a plop, he fell into the sea. Gulu gulu gulu. Crackling. With the sound of fire burning wood in his ears, Kyosuke woke up in a daze, feeling cold all over, shaking his body hurriedly. Seeing the fire, he immediately leaned forward, sniffed his nose, and looked around, and found that he was surrounded by a sandy beach. He was under a coconut tree. The sky was dim and a snake was roasting on the fire. This snake. Why is it so familiar? You're awake. A familiar voice came, turned his head to look. Terumi Ming walked out of the woods pale, holding dry wood in his arms. Advertisement seeing him, Kyosuke quickly stood up, but his whole body collapsed and there was no strength, and it was difficult for chakra to move. Terumi Ming said, your chakra consumes more than I consume. Don't struggle. You don't have much strength now. Put the dry wood aside, sit down by the bonfire, and say, we are on an island near the country of Nami, and there is no way to go out until chakra is restored. I didn't expect to be taken down the cliff by this guy. If it weren't for luck, I almost died. In other words, why were we rushed to the island? Shouldn't it be near the country of wave? The country of Nami is in the rainy season. A storm blew up on the day we fell, and we who were floating on the sea were washed up here. If it weren't for me, you would have died. She actually didn't want to save people. At that time, the snake tied them together, and she didn't have the strength to break free, so she had to follow the flow. If it weren't for growing in a country of water and proficient in water, the two of them would be accounted for in the sea. Because she was tied up by the snake and brought it down the cliff, she also included the oil bottle Chingjia. When she woke up, she immediately set a fire and roasted the snake. To relieve her hatred. Thank you Master Ming for saving my dog's life. Huh. Now you know you called me Master Ming? Terumi Mei snorted, a little arrogant, now trapped on a deserted island. Coupled with the lack of chakra, the matter of dealing with Kyosuke will be put aside, and now the top priority should be to find a way to return to the country of waves. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. They're all going to fight. Chingjia was near the fire, cold on his body, smelling the aroma of roasted snake meat, and asked, where did you get the snake? Terumi Mei glanced at him and said, you're one, Chingjia. Forget it, don't care about this. The more it smelled, the more fragrant he reached out and wanted to eat a little bit, but was slapped back with a slap, and was warned. I want to find a way to eat, you eat free. This is my snake, I saved you, eat coconut. I touched the ninja bag and found that there was some shuriken inside. I was overjoyed and shot the coconut from the coconut tree with the shuriken. A few coconuts fell down and threw them to Terumi Mei. He took out the kunai from the leggings, opened the shell, broke a hole, poured all the coconut milk into his mouth, drank the coconut milk, opened the coconut again, and ate the inside, coconut meat. One was not full enough, so I ate two more. Hiccup tilde. Advertisement throwing the coconut shell aside, the body regained a bit of strength, condensed the chakra, the flame steamed the wet clothes dry, and a pile of white flowered sea salt formed on the clothes. It's so uncomfortable, do me a favor with water to escape. Terumi Ming glanced at him and sighed, this man is so annoying. Pointing to the forest and said, there's a freshwater stream in it. Go downstream and wash your clothes by yourself. Thank you. After speaking, he walked into the forest. Not long after, Chingjia, who was refreshed all over, walked back. Although his clothes were still a bit dirty, they were very dry. He saw Terumi Mei was already lying on the edge of the fire, completely unguarded, with sweat on his forehead, which should be burning. This girl is very courageous. He, a hostile ninja, dares to lay down his guard and rest here. That's me, if someone else you were already dead. He and Terumi had no grievances, and he didn't want to kill this girl, it was enough that she saved herself. He yawned and lay on the edge of the fire. There was no words for a night. When the sky was dark, Kyosuke woke up. The fire beside him was already extinguished, opened his eyes, sat up, and saw Terumi next to him curled up into a ball, his face pale, panting, and his body was not, trembling. It's not cold either. The temperature here looks like a dozen degrees Celsius, not so cold, what's the matter with this girl? He stretched out his hand and placed it on Terumi Ming's forehead, and found that she had a fever. This physique is a little bad, it's also a ninja anyway. There is no medicine on him either, just treat it as paying back your favor. Feeling the chakra who recovered from rest last night, he immediately separated a shadow clone and said, I went to the woods to find herbs, and you take care of her. After all, we are our lifesaver, although we live on a large part of the desert island. The reason is her, but they saved me. The shadow avatar nodded and smiled and said, just leave it to me, don't you worry about me? Of course don't worry, it's me. He Ying clone patted his palms, and walked into the woods with kunai. The shadow clone looked at Terumi Mei who had a fever and said, who asked you to save me? There are not many good people like me. Your luck is really good. Chapter 83. Conversation. When Terumi woke up, she was covered with a cloth soaked in water that was torn from Kyosuke's body, and covered with a burnt animal skin. A fire was burning beside him, and Kiyomizu sat on the side, roasting meat on the edge of the fire. Seeing that she woke up, she handed her the herbs in coconut shells, and said, you are lucky to have me by your side, and there happens to be herbs for reducing fever on this island. I drank this and then sweated. I encountered it when I was looking for herbal medicine. I killed it. It seems that this deserted island is not small. Otherwise, there won't be such a big animal here. There will be no large animals on small islands. After all, there is no suitable environment for them, and they can't get on the island. Of course, some people may bring it to the island. Drink it It took me a while to find this. Pass her the coconut shell. The dark liquid inside made Terumi Miku a bitter cold and looked at him suspiciously. Don't you think I was poisoned? Conscience of heaven and earth, I want to kill you. You can wipe your neck with a knife when you have a fever. Why do you waste such a lot of energy? Hurry up, drink the medicine. Terumi May pursed her lips, blushed and took the coconut shell. She didn't know if it was the fever or the fire. Thank you. Nothing. Who asked you to save me? It's bitter. After taking a sip of the medicine, Terumi Ming frowned. The taste of this thing was worse than that of Binglang pills. Bitter? Then close your eyes and pinch your nose and pour it down. Now there is no condition to pick and choose for you. The eldest lady is the eldest lady, and she doesn't want to think about where she is now. Looking at Kyosuke, Terumi May gritted her teeth. This person wouldn't be able to say something nice, coaxing herself? But she wasn't a hypocritical person, and drank it dumbly. Although the hot herbs tasted poorly, she felt a little comfortable when she had a stomachache. Chingjia handed over a coconut again and said, come on, take a sip to disperse the bitterness. Advertisement, okay. I took the coconut and took a sip of coconut milk and the bitterness in my mouth was immediately dispelled. It feels a lot more comfortable. Kyosuke said at this time. I will sleep later and sweat, and I can almost recover. Why do you, a ninja, catch a cold and fever? Terumi gave him a weak look and said, ninjas are also humans, and they have been soaked for a long time. Why are you okay? Maybe my physique is better. As soon as he woke up, he used the few chakras to evaporate the seawater on his body, and Terumi Ming was still sticking to his body wet. In other words, did I wake up too late and didn't actually see it? Loss. While regretting in my heart, I looked at the meat that was roasting by the fire, picked one that was similar, and handed it to her, saying, the taste should be okay. Please sleep after eating. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. After receiving the barbecue that was strung with peeled branches, Terumi said thank you, sips the heat from it, and said, are you really good at taking care of me like this? We are a hostile force. You saved my life, I naturally want to repay it, and, you are so beautiful, it would be a pity to die. Besides, the village doesn't know that I am here. Maybe they think I was captured or killed. You are really optimistic. After taking a bite of the barbecue, his eyes lit up, and he said, it tastes really good. Of course, although it's just simply processed sea salt, it's okay to put a little bit. Well, it's okay, it's not as delicious as my cook. Ah, the eldest lady is the eldest lady. We civilians have never enjoyed it, but our Konoha's Yile ramen is a must. He picked up a piece of meat, blew it, and started eating. I got up and said, I really want to go back and eat ramen. Terumi asked. Does it taste good? Very good, I want to eat even more at this time. I want to taste it too. When you have a chance in the future, you come to Konoha and I will show you a taste. Advertisement, in the future. She shook her head and said, I'll talk about the future. The war is not over yet, and Konoha will not welcome me as a misty person. The war will end sooner or later, it would be better to say, after the end, will your mists open up? Wu Yan shut down the country and killed himself. If it weren't for the 3 generations of Shuiying Town, I'm afraid Wu Yan would have been fighting by himself. Terumi Ming's face became stiff, and the whole ninja knew the characteristics of Haze. The cruel and bloody policy made Haze's ninja very uncomfortable. Even during the war, it was better than being in the village. You are misty. He swallowed the meat and said, the mist should be open to connect with the world, and working behind closed doors will only stagnate. Hearing this, Terumi Ming's eyes lit up and he nodded in agreement. You are right. Mist should be open, but the village won't do that. She didn't say much anymore. After all, it was Wu Yan's own business. What's the point of talking with Kyosuke Konoha? Chingjia took another piece of meat and said, mist will open sooner or later, and the opportunity for opening lies in you. Me? Terumi Ming looked at him questioningly, and Chingjia said, 2 kinds of blood inheritance, backed by a big family, coupled with talent and popularity, the possibility of becoming a water shadow is extremely high. There is also the Ghost Lamp clan. The Huye clan should not accept you at first, right? But seeing that they call you Master Ming, you have been convinced. If it were you, the Misty Shadow would definitely be able to rejuvenate. It's not too powerful. Terumi May was a little shy, and his heart was pounding, not because of Kyosuke, but because of his words, Shui Ying, that position. It's just that before that, we have to wait until the 3rd generation of water shadows die. Oh, there is the 4th generation. Terumi May became displeased when he heard this, and said angrily, little thief of Konoha, would you like our water shadow to die? Kyosuke said lightly, for example, 3 generations of Shui Ying died in this war. It will never be you who will succeed him, because you are too young, and it will be someone else. Then, you want to make a difference as soon as possible. Only 4 generations of Shuiying died, otherwise, even if you become an old woman, you will not succeed the 5th generation of Shuiying. It seems. That makes sense. Why not the 4th generation? The 3 generations of Shuiying no longer count on him. He is more stable and will not take the village to risk. He has always implemented a conservative policy. Chingjia glanced at him and said, he will start in the village, not diplomacy. If I guess it is right, you will be in a mess. If you can't even stabilize the inside, don't talk about the outside. He will spend a long time. Time to clean up the inside. Don't think about the outside. Not to mention that the next 4 generations of water shadows will be controlled by the soil and the fog will be hidden and discarded. Chapter 84 Return. Thinking of bringing soil, I don't know what happened to this idiot. It seems that I will have to go to the battlefield with Yanyan village afterwards to prevent this fool from becoming Madara's puppet, and at least save Lin back. Because of Lin's death, the soil will be blackened. If he is not dead, it will not. Just protect him. It's useless to tell Konoha's senior management that Uchiha Madara is still alive. First, it's the same thing whether high-level officials believe it or not. Second, even if he believed it, there was no way to find Lord Madara, that guy was too capable of hiding. Third, there is a dutiful son Heiju, but he wants to protect Lord Madara as a tool person. Now Lord Madara is his only hope to rescue his mother. Before that, it's better to find a way to get the soil back. That guy should be stupid for a lifetime. Will you become Hokage? Terumi Ming looked at Kyosuke and asked suddenly. Me? Naruto? Stop kidding, how could I become Naruto? He shook his head and said, after this war, it is estimated that the 4 generations of Naruto will be in the upper ranks. It is impossible to be mine. What I just said, I am too. Same, no accident, the 4th generation of Hokage will be in charge of the village for a long, long time, and I don't have that opportunity anymore. If the soil does not die, Watergate will not die, then he will continue to serve as the 4th generation of Hokage for the village, approving documents. Terumi Mei smiled and said, why didn't the 4th generation of Hokage die suddenly? Kyosuke felt a strong malice from her and coughed and said, that has nothing to do with me, becoming a Hokage. I will be shackled in the village. I am not a person who can sit in a position for a long time. Is it? Don't tell me, there is no Naruto, but there will be one in the future. Looking at Terumi Mei, he suddenly froze for a while. Wait, if I really save the soil, then the 4th generation of Water Shadow will not die, then. Terumi Ming's 5th generation Water Shadow position is gone. Forget it, when he didn't say it, let's go to the battlefield in Yanyan village to talk about it later. The two rested for a whole night, and Terumi Mei recovered and said to Kyosuke, if I remember well, we were floating in that direction at the time. Just run in that direction. The country of Nami is probably in the southeast of this island, and the two of them just have to run on the sea. Well, let's rush. Chakra hasn't fully recovered yet, and the speed of self-recovery is relatively slow, but it is enough to return to the country of waves. Let's go. They walked on the waves, as if they were competing, moving forward together, not letting each other share. Advertisement on the way, Kyosuke suddenly asked Terumi Ming. Last time you said you didn't catch me, you would be punished by Mizuki, right? Okay. Then I will help you. You want to go to the fog? As long as you tell all the information you know, I will protect you from death. What do you want? Then I will give you a shadow clone to fill the facade, go to the fog and die. My brain is not broken, and then we will be cleaned up. Tu Ching. After taking a look at Kiyomizu, Terumi Mei snorted, speeding up and leaving. I don't understand why this woman is angry. Don't guess the woman's mind, you can't guess it. After running on the sea for 2 hours, I finally saw the land, and I found a fisherman to inquire about it and knew that this is the country of waves. Kyosuke stretched his waist and said, I'm finally back, great, then goodbye. I should also go. Oh, yes, the shadow clone. Just as he was preparing for the seal, something happened suddenly, and a handful of kunai flew out of the bush on one side. Fortunately, Shinjia reacted quickly, giving way and avoiding the attack. But still, because the speed was a little slow, the forehead was shot down. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Damn, what's the situation? He turned his head and looked at the bushes. 2 misty people walked out of the bushes, grinning and said, the people of Konoha and the eldest lady of the Terumi family. What do you mean? Terumi Ming looked at them with an ugly expression. A misty ninja said, the eldest lady of Terumi family met Konoha ninja privately, and was convicted of collaborating with the enemy and treason. Let us go back to the village. Yes, it's a pity, such a beautiful little girl, so cheap for such a Konoha kid. Terumi Mei's face flushed with anger. These 2 families were rival families of Terumi family. They splashed dirty water when they came up. I didn't expect to meet them when I first came up, it was really bad luck. You 2 bastards. Looking for death, believe it or not I let you 2 die here silently? The clay figurine also has 3 points of anger, and the mist is not one-sided, and coupled with the killing intent of these 2 guys, Terumi will not let them off easily. She hasn't rested well these days, but her temper is very big. Court death, Chingsuk's anger was even greater, and he didn't care about the forehead protection on the ground, and rushed directly to fight with the 2 misty ninjas. Advertisement, Shenhuo Shiranui. 2 flame spears instantly penetrated the body of a misty ninja, burning his internal organs, making him scream in pain. You. Sure enough, Terumi Ming, you really got entangled with Konoha's ninja. The misty ninja yelled at Terumi Mei. Originally, I just wanted to pour dirty water and get a nausea for Terumi Ming, but now it looks like this is true. To shut up. Terumi Mei was also angry and dealt with that guy with Kyosuke. Solving escape demonstration of melting. A large amount of acid spit out from her mouth, like a cloth, covering the head of the misty ninja. Suddenly, the extremely corrosive acid began to corrode his body. Under the intense pain, he didn't even have the chance to scream, because the acid poured into his mouth and corroded his tongue. In a few seconds, his body was completely corroded. I'm leaving now, you can put the blame on these 2 shameless pens, goodbye. With that, Kyosuke got into the forest. Oh, wait. There are still some things to ask Shinjia, but this guy runs without a trace. What is this guy doing so fast? I don't know how to eat people. He shook his head and returned to the beach. The misty ninja that was attacked by Kyosuke was dead. Hey, this is that guy's forehead guard. Picking up the scratched protective forehead, Terumi meditated and put it away. Forget it. Return it to him if you meet him in the future. Shinjia, who had been running for a while, touched his head, only then did he remember that his forehead was still on the beach. Forget it, then go to the camp and ask for one, it's not a valuable thing anyway. Now let's find a way to find the camp first. The top priority now is to go back to the camp to rest, and he doesn't want to do anything else. In other words, which way to go to Konoha's camp? Kyosuke discovered that he was lost again. Chapter 85, New Mission. It took a long time for Shinzuki to find the way to Konoha base camp. It took another day before he found the camp. Asuma, Hong, Kyufeng, and Nikkei watched him carefully, and only after confirming that there was nothing wrong, did they relax. He smiled in relief and said, "But you are back. We have been looking for a few days and even suspected that you were taken away by the misty person. Just come back and come back." It is naturally a good thing that Shinzuki can come back. It is not what he wants to see that he is not willing to let a child set foot on the battlefield, and let him be chased and killed. Captain Feng, are you okay with Jouei? If it hadn't been for the storm a few days ago, the fog had retreated, otherwise, Jouei and I might still be hunted down. After the death of the 7 ninja swords, Haze suffered heavy damage, how could it not chase them down? Fortunately, they also came back, but only one of the 7 ninja swords remained. Wu Yin's morale was greatly reduced, and Konoha began to counterattack, preparing to drive Wu Yin out of the country of Nami. That's it, I also got a small life because of that storm. He didn't mention Terumi Ming, and it didn't make sense to mention it. Ku Feng said. You go to write a report on the experience of the past few days. Jouei and I have already handed it in. This time you have done a great job. There were 3 or 4 of the 7 ninja swords that died in the hands of Kyosuke. You know, he is still a child. With this strength, it is terrifying. Even with their help, his attack can kill the ninja sword. The crowd of 7 is enough to prove his strength. I believe that in the near future, this matter will spread throughout the world of shinobi, and Kyosuke will become Konoha's very dazzling star. Ah, I'm exhausted. Why is there a report? Captain Wind, let me copy your report. I'll change it when the time comes. When he heard that he had to write a report, Shinji's entire face collapsed and he was not happy at all. Kifeng laughed and shook his head. That won't work. Think of a solution by yourself. Since you just came back, you can hand it in later. Oh, Asuma, come and help me. How can I help you? Asuma was taken aback, and what happened to me? I said you right, I don't want to move. Are you too lazy? We are good friends, can't you help me at this time? Fine. Really, I thought I could steal a bit of laziness. Advertisement. I slept, took a bath in the camp, changed into clean clothes, and put on a new headgear. The clothes are a bit small, I have to buy some fitting ones. He is now growing up, and his clothes change a bit quickly. Okay, I said you right. Back in the camp, lying on the bed, said to Asuma. Okay, I said you right. Say it. Asuma unrolled the scroll, picked up the brush, and got ready to work. Ah, Konoha, especially Shinobu Asakawa Kyosuke and Shudao take the wind. Yu Neshiwei perform special tasks together. Next, I will briefly describe the incident of assassinating the 7 people with the ninja sword and being chased by Terumi Mei to the desert island. After the desert island, Terumi Mei is omitted. After all, she is a misty person. If the people of Konoha know about it, you will find yourself in trouble. You know, when I came back today, I was questioned many times, and there were ninjas from the mountain clan who came to determine if they were controlled by illusions. During the war, he would naturally require strict investigations. In order to avoid unnecessary troubles, he would selectively write them down. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. This word is really ugly. Seeing Asuma's crooked words, Shinzuki commented, you have the ability to write it yourself. Huh. If my handwriting is good looking, I won't let you write it. I knew I would let Hong help. Okay, I'll hand in the report. Excuse me. Kyosuke got permission and walked into the handsome account. The old guys Mito Menyon and Zhuan Shaochen still sat in their seats, just like when they set off a few days ago. There seems to be no change. This is my report for a few days. I handed in the report, opened Mito Menyon, read it quickly, there was nothing strange, nodded, with a rare smile, and said, good job, young people like you are Konoha's future. We are old, well, the rewards will not be given to you until the war is over. In addition, your team has won a special mission. Special mission. Turning to sleep, Shaochen and Yan Yu said, it is not a particularly difficult task. You are responsible for returning the corpses and information of the Misty Ninja we have collected to Konoha. This is also a special holiday. This kind of escort mission can rest in the village for a few days, which is regarded as a vacation, as long as they return to the battlefield afterwards. It can also be regarded as a vacation for Chinjia and them, although they have not come here for a full month. Advertisement. But who made him do such a great work? In addition, this is a secret letter to Master Naruto, so you must keep it safe. Menyon Mito took out a scroll with the word, secret, written on it, surrounded by sealing spells, which were obviously encrypted. The main purpose is to report on the various damages on the Konoha Mist battlefield. However, it must not be obtained by the Misty people. If it is obtained, Konoha's arrangement will be exposed at once, which is extremely detrimental to Konoha. I understand. His face suddenly became serious, and he summoned a snake with the thickness of an arm, took the secret letter, let the snake swallow the secret letter and disappeared. In this way, even if he died, the secret letter would not be exposed. Then, let's go now. Although you know you are tired, you can have a good rest when you return to Konoha. Yes. You are squeezing employees, but there is no way. Who makes him a wage earner? After leaving the handsome account, he returned to the camp and said to Asuma and Hong, there is bad news, the task is here. No, didn't you just come back? Why is there another task? Asuma said. Hong was also puzzled. According to reason, Qingjie had just returned, so he shouldn't suddenly send him a task to let him rest. But why did he have another task? Kyosuke said. The escort mission, to escort some things back to Konoha, that is to say, our vacation is here, well, we are going to the intelligence department to pick up things. Holiday. When the two heard this, their eyes brightened, and they didn't expect a vacation so soon. Go away, the holiday is here, we went back and have a look, this time I will go back to learn water escape. Don't you use fire? Why do you want to learn water escape? Because I was educated by Shui Dun, I have to study hard. Master barbarians develop skills to control barbarians, although he is better at fire, but no one stipulates that people who play with fire can't play with water. Chapter 86. Junior Sister Konoha, Hokage Office. The Shinzuki trio handed the secret letter and the intelligence seal scroll to Sarutobi Hizen. Opened the secret letter Mito Menyon had given him, and looked at Kiyomizu in amazement. Menyon and Shaochin, the two mature and respectful men, are actually going to make dangerous moves. It is really a risk to let you and Qfeng go to assassinate the 7/9thos. The behavior, but your strength surprised me. Contributing to the village is what we Konoha ninja should do. Sarutobi nodded with satisfaction. This realization is worthy of my disciple and grandson. Men Yan's secret letter already mentioned your credit and asked you to be rewarded. It is indeed possible, but the sealed book is still not. You can't give the ninjutsu in the sealed book as soon as you have done meritorious service. Those skills can't be given to a young ninja casually. Qingjie was not disappointed either. After all, the sealed book is an important secret among the important secrets in the village, and it is impossible for him to keep it. Hokage-sama, I want to learn water escape. The technique in the Book of Seal is indeed not good, but there are some other requirements that can be made, so Sarutobi is not easy to refuse. Water escape. Sarutobi Hijan looked at him in surprise and said, your chakra is wind and fire. If you learn Shui Dun, you can indeed make one more in your body, but Shui Dun and you shouldn't match. People who play with fire generally don't play with water, just like the Uchiha clan. Chakra's attributes are mostly fire and thunder. Basically, they don't learn about water escape, unless they are copied by writing round eyes. Otherwise, they definitely will learn. Learning ninjutsu that is not compatible with yourself will only increase the difficulty of learning and use. It is better to learn what you are good at. On the battlefield of the country of Poland, I am often held back by the misty people with water escape. I want revenge. If I can, I want to learn from the second generation of adults with water escape. The second generation of Hokage, except for that one's forbidden technique, only the man of high dun was left. Relying on the powerful physique and the majestic chakra volume possessed by the Thousand Hands clan, the water shadows they use may be stronger than the water shadows of the next water country. Of course, Shinzuki wanted to learn, mainly because many of the techniques of the second generation of Hokage Water Dune were created by themselves, which can catch the opponent by surprise. Hearing Kyosuke's childish words, Sarutobi shook his head and said with a smile, the second generation of Shui Dun is really amazing, but to reach his level, the amount of chakra required is not a star and a half. The chakra amount of the Thousand Hands clan is in the ninja realm, and generally only the Maelstrom clan can match it, which can't be achieved casually. My chakra volume has now reached at least the upper endurance level. As the battle continued, Kyosuke's chakra volume was also rapidly increasing, especially after getting Shijiji and Terumi Ming for several days. The amount of chakra in his body was much larger than before. Advertisement. It is only a rough idea to say that it is at the ninja level. If there is to be a unit of measurement, it is estimated to be at the level of 10 or even a dozen Kakashi who have a riding wheel. Sarutobi touched the beard on his chin and said, well, come to me at this time tomorrow. Are Asma and Red interested? Your accumulated battle exploits can also be exchanged for ninjutsu. I used wind escape and fire escape, old man. Asma snorted and said uncomfortably. Hong said, if I can, I want to learn illusion. Her father positioned her as a phantom ninja. It is indeed possible to learn other ninjutsu, but she wants to keep learning illusion. As for Huo Dun and illusion, I also have some here. You can come together at this time tomorrow. Also, Kyosuke, your teacher Oshimaru has returned. You can go and see. Master Oshimaru? Has the war with the country of wind ended? If the war does not end, it is impossible for Oshimaru to return. If it returns, then the war in the country of the wind is over. Sarutobi nodded and said, yes, it's over. You can go to him and learn some new techniques. Oh. The three left Hokage's office. Shinzuki bid farewell to Red and Asma, and immediately went to the home of Oshimaru. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Pushing the door in, Dashiwan was doing experiments in his own laboratory, dressed as before, shaking the test tube in his hand. However, what made Shinji cared was that in the laboratory, besides a big snake pill, there was also a purple-haired loli holding the big snake pill on the side as the mascot of the white snake shed skin. Seeing his arrival, Zifa Lolita said, who are you? This is the place of teacher Dashimaru. Outsiders can't come in casually. Oshimaru. Teacher? Looking at the purple-haired loli, she said, you are. Purple-haired loli slapped Ma Pinchuan on the chest, and proudly said, I am the new disciple of Mrs. Oshimaru, Midori Adzuki Beans, and who are you? Come on, if you don't say anything, I will let Mrs. Oshimaru deal with it, you. On one side, Dashiwan showed an interesting expression. He wanted to see what would happen between the two disciples. Midori Red Beans? Is this my cheap junior sister? Speaking of it, I now seem to have Konoha and even the hardest background in ninja world, just like Adzuki Beans. Shizu. The first and second generations of Hokage. Advertisement master. 3 generations of Hokage. Brother. 4 generations of Hokage. Master. The 5 dynasties of Hokage. Nephew. 6 generations of Hokage. Nephew. 7 generations of Hokage. Who else? Kyosuke coughed and rubbed Red Bean's purple hair, but was slapped with a slap, and said angrily, "Why are you so rude and laughing? Is it funny?" Krypton ha 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 ha. Kyosuke laughed like a cave king, and looked at Oshimaru and said, "Teacher Oshimaru, where did you find the disciple? So cute. Hello, I am Kyosuke Asakawa, your brother, my lovely sister." Brother? Stop kidding, teacher, do I still have a senior? Hongdu asked the big snake pill who was watching the excitement. Oshimaru slowly put down the test tube with the unknown liquid in his hand, and said, "Yes, you have a senior, it is him." Red Beans. Why didn't you say it in the beginning? You didn't ask either. Ah, this, Itsuki Bean. Itsuki Do, who thought he had become a big disciple of Oshimaru, instantly found that there was another one on his head, and suddenly became unhappy. He looked at Shinjia with an awkward expression. "Hello, brother." Hello, give you a gadget." Opening his hand, a little purple snake crawled out of his sleeve and watched Red Bean spit out a snake letter. The little snake is round and cute. It captured the heart of Hongdu and took it with a smile. "Thank you, brother. This senior brother is not as awkward as before. You like it?" Chapter 87. The second generation of Hokage's water escape. "It looks like you were getting along well, Kyosuke-kun. How about the war in the mist?" asked Da Shiwan. Shinzuki said, "Teacher Oshimaru, this time I did a great job. Oh, I killed 4 ninja swordsmen by myself. How about? Great, right? A person? Without the cooperation of others? Ahem, Yan Vijue of the Yun clan and Chu Dao, the patriarch of the Chu Dao clan, take the wind." Not bad. Oshimaru nodded and smiled. Although with their help, it is not uncommon for one person to kill the 4 ninja sevens. When Hongdu heard it, he raised his hand and quickly asked, "Brother, is it the 7 ninja swordsmen in Wuyan?" She has heard that the ninja 7 is so powerful, even if Naruto-sama ran into it, she had to deal with it carefully. Her brother killed 4 by himself? She doesn't believe it. "Yes," Kyosuke said with a smile. "It's not difficult to pin down and defeat them one by one, as long as you have the intelligence of the 7 shinobi." Dashimaru said to his little disciple, "Azuki Bean, Kyosuke-kun's situation is very special. The damage he can cause is beyond your imagination. You are still young. When you grow up, you will understand his power, but I will become a powerful ninja in the future." For this little disciple, he really likes it, and he also believes that Itsuki has the talent to be a good ninja. Kyosuke recalled the information about Itsuki Beans, that she would become a bold female ninja in the future, both in character and dressing style. In addition, she seemed to be particularly stubborn. Maybe there is a reason why it was pitted by the big snake pill. When Dashimaru was studying the curse seal, he experimented with the curse that was immature at the beginning and imprinted on Itsuki Bean's body. It may be that the curse seal affected her ability. I won't mention this, but the future Amy Red Bean. After thinking for a while, it's better not to let this younger sister go astray. In the future, I will definitely become a ninja as powerful as the teacher. Advertisement. Hongdu looked at Oshimaru with an admiring look, and Oshimaru just nodded and asked Shinzuki, "Kaisuke-san, in that case, the misty hideout of the 7 Ninethosaurus should retreat soon." Perhaps, I don't know this either. After all, Konoha used defensive tactics against mist. He asked, "Teacher Oshimaru, how was the war in the Kingdom of Wind?" Oshimaru began to play with the experimental equipment, and said blankly, "After paying some price, Konoha invaded the territory of the Kingdom of Wind. After the negotiations, Konoha has returned to the border of the Kingdom of Fire. Shinosuke is now guarding there." The stubborn resistance of Cheyenne village gave him a headache. In order to quickly end this boring war, Dashimaru used some people as a price to deceive the people of Cheyenne village. Cheyenne village, who lost the command of Chiyo, was deceived, and he was stunned. After the annihilation of the sun, he went straight to Wanglong and entered the territory of the Kingdom of Wind. Cheyenne village turned offensive to defensive, and Nien Yu stubbornly resisted. There was no need for Oshimaru to stabilize the situation, so he called him back to Konoha, and if something went wrong, let him make up. Cheyenne village won't hold on for long, because Cheyenne village's funding was cut by the daimyo of the Kingdom of Wind. Who let them lose? Suddenly, Cheyenne village entered a stage of economic crisis, and Luo Sha, who took over the 4 generations of Fengying, suffered from a headache. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. I have been worrying about money all day, and people have lost weight. Recently, I have decided to put my own money. No way, for the sake of the village, sacrificing the ego is nothing. Now Dashimaru's limelight has not changed for a while, and it has already spread from the village that he returned to Konoha to take over the rumors of the 4th generation of Hokage. All in all, Konoha's war against San Shinobu was a big victory. I saw a very talented orphan on the battlefield, but it's a pity that he doesn't want to go with me, otherwise, you will have another junior. Thinking back to the boy named Yao Shido, Dashiwan was very sorry. That child was very talented, even better than Shinzuki. The pharmacist's pocket. Has the Master of Dreams already met the tech madman? But forget it, as long as Dashiwan does not die, Master Yuan Meng will not appear. Just bring him back, it's an orphan anyway, he is not willing, and I will not force it. I have a hunch that one day, he will come by my side. Dashiwan's eyes were full of indifference like a beast. That's it. By the way, Teacher Oshimaru, do you have water escape ninjutsu? It's best to be created by the 2nd generation of adults. Advertisement. Shimaru looked at him strangely, and said, the second generation of Naruto Master Shui Dun. What do you want that? Kyosuke said with his hips akimbo, I was abused on the water escape, I want to get back the face. Shui Dun is not for you, it will be troublesome for you to study. It's okay, I have a shadow clone, which can speed up my learning. Then teach you the simplified water dragon bomb technique of the second generation of Hokage. Listen to the red bean. Yes. Hongdu seriously found a place to sit down. Oshimaru came to the two of them and began to teach his disciples, and said, the second generation of Hokage's water dune can be ranked in the top even in the ninja world. His water dragon bomb technique has been simplified, although it is still B level. But reducing the 44 seals to 4 requires a special understanding of Shui Dun, otherwise, even if it is used, the power will decrease. The second generation of Hokage's method of printing is Zichen Mao Yin. The way chakra works is. Dashimaru class is now open. Shinzuki and Hongdu listened very carefully. After teaching the simplified version of the water dragon bomb technique to the two disciples, he gave them the complete version of the 44 seals. Let them study hard. I don't know this. Dashimaru also took out 2 scrolls from his collection and said, these are the simplified and original 2 types of water escape ninjutsu by the second generation of Naruto masters. They're all on it. Please come back and ask me if you can. Thank you, Mr. Oshimaru. When you open it, one is a simplified water wall, and 2 seals can be displayed, and the other is Shui Dun Bow Ride, also known as instant water. This is one of the second generation Hokage's best water escape techniques. It uses water escape to create an environment suitable for use. It can also be used in places such as rivers and lakes. It uses water escape ninjutsu that slides quickly on the surface of the water. It is a very convenient water escape that allows one to move quickly in the water. Kyosuke, who had obtained 2 water escape ninjutsu, put away the ninjutsu scrolls, and he decided to use them to practice these 2 ninjutsu in the past few days. After all, he wants to return to the misty battlefield, in which wave rides must be learned, so that he will no longer be as passive as he once was. When someone used water to escape, he couldn't run fast. This trick is the first to learn. Chapter 88, Ramen Shop Encounter. The next day, Kyosuke received the second generation of Hokage's trick, Water Dun, Water Blade from Sarutobi Risen. Next to a waterfall in the Konoha training ground. Huo Dun fired Dragon Flame Bomb. Standing on the river, Asuma spit out a long pillar of fire, passing by like a fire dragon, and rushed towards Kyosuke in 3 separate ways. Water escape. The art of Water Dragon Bomb. It was impossible to complete the Water Dragon Bomb with 4 seals, but Kyosuke extended the seals to 15, which greatly reduced the speed of the seals. The 44 seals did not know when they would be closed. A water dragon rose on the surface of the river, spreading its teeth and dancing claws, lifelike, roared silently, and rushed towards the new technique that Asuma had obtained. The Water Dragon Bomb extinguished the Fire Dragon Flame Bomb, and the two cancelled each other out and finally disappeared. White mist floated on the river. Kyosuke disappeared suddenly and slowly floated out of the water. He wiped the water off his face and said, it looks like this trick is much harder to learn than I thought. Bow Ride. This trick requires an understanding of Shui Dun and a very fast reaction speed. After all, it is moving fast in the water, quickly approaching the enemy, so as to sneak attack on the enemy, attacking and retreating, and defending. If you look closely, there are still several shadow clones under the water practicing wave riding, moving fast under the water. It seems that you still haven't grasped the essentials. Would you like to ask Master Oshimaru? Well, go ask in the afternoon. I'm hungry, let's go eat. Let's go. Do you want to eat barbecue? No, it's too greasy. Let's eat ramen. Eat again, haven't you eaten it last night? It's better than eating barbecue. I don't want to eat sushi and sashimi. Okay, don't froze. Go to Yilei Ramen. Fine, go, go. Yilei Ramen fighting all the way. Opening the door of the Yilei Ramen shop, Kyosuke said, hands on the boss, a bowl of miso ramen. Advertisement, I want soy sauce tonkatsu noodles. Okay, just a second. The hand beater still squinted his eyes, concealed his reincarnation writing round eyes well, and worked hard. Oh, isn't this Kyosuke and Asuma? You guys are back too. Familiar voices, the two turned their heads. It was a hedgehog's head, it was the dirt that hadn't been seen for a long time. Isn't this the dirt from the tail of the crane? Is this back? Who do you call the tail of the crane? Bringing up the sleeves, said, Asuma, do you want to do it? I tell you, I am not the same as I used to be. Are you Uchiha Nuvulu Taito? Okay, okay, bring the soil, don't make trouble. Lin sighed helplessly, took the soil, and greeted the two of them. It's been a long time. Asuma still has Shinjia. Yeah, Lin. Lin, it's been a long time. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. The two Shinjia and Lin greeted Lin, and Kakashi walked in to see them, nodded coldly, maintaining a high level of coldness. You are back too. Watergate also walked in. Beside him, there was a beautiful red-haired woman holding his arm, like glue, as if glued together. Mr. Watergate, Sister Ju Shinai. Hello, Teacher Watergate, this is. Hello, this is Uzumaki Kushina. Kushina, this is Kyosuke Asakawa, I mentioned it to you. Mizumon introduced. Sure enough, the only one who can form a tomato scrambled egg combination with Watergate is the current nine-tailed man Julie, Uzumaki Kushina. Oh, is this the Asakawa Kyosuke you mentioned? What a lovely kid. He slapped his palms and rubbed Kyosuke's face familiarly. Shinjia. Watergate reluctantly grabbed Kushina, and apologized to Kyosuke. Sorry, Kushina is more outgoing. This is no longer an extrovert problem, right? However, this is nothing, and he smiled and said, it's nothing. Ms. Watergate, are you back on vacation too? That's right, I'll also take Dai Tu and Lin to take the Zhongren exam. Advertisement, huh? Didn't everyone have been promoted to Zhongren? Shinzuki said in confusion, Asma and Hong are already Zhongren, why not bring Tu and Lin? Watergate said, that's it. Only you who have been promoted to ninja are those who have reached the third and second round of the last ninja exam. There are also some veterans who have completed the task well. They are just plain faces. There's the name of Zhongren, in fact, in the village, it is still the lower level. All members of Zhongren claimed from the outside are actually just empty titles. The war came too suddenly, and there was no time to modify the information. They were directly assigned a title of Zhongren, and then they were put on the battlefield. In fact, there are not many people who really become Zhongren. One of them was to bring them back to take the ninja test, and the other was to bring Kakashi back to take the ninja test. Yes, Kakashi's strength and all aspects can become the shinobu. Kiyosuke's heart sank when he heard the news. If he remembers well, it didn't take long for Kakashi to be promoted to shinobu, and something happened with the soil. This is not a good sign. Seeing his face suddenly difficult to look, Watergate asked in confusion, what's the matter, Shinzuki? Nothing, just think of some bad memories. It seems that I am going to find a way to apply to the battlefield of the land of the earth. The situation on the battlefield of the Thunder Country has been stabilized by Jiraiya, but the moth has emerged on the land of the earth. During the raid on the territory of Fire Nation, Konoha had to allocate some troops to go there. When Mizumon came back this time, it is estimated that he would be sent there to strengthen. In the battle between the land of Thunder and the land of Land, the three generations of Raikage, in order to allow their companions to escape, fight alone against the ninjas in Iwagaku village, which has as many as 10,000. He fought alone for 3 days and 3 nights, and finally exhausted, dead. Shinzuki and the others only knew about this battle that shocked the ninja world. That battle at Yanyan village was a heavy loss, but the guy from the third generation of Tokage Onoki actually dared to split his forces to attack Konoha, wanting to bite off a piece of meat. That old guy really dared to do it. After the death of the 3 generations of Raikage, Jiraiya's pressure suddenly became much less, and then he put the Watergate with the speed of the ninja world back for a vacation, but the sudden action of the Soil Country is estimated to be soon, and the Watergate will go to support it. After calming down, Kiyosuke smiled and said, don't worry about me, if you are an idiot, can you be promoted to Zhongren? Don't underestimate me. I've grown up, with Soil Akimbo, full of confidence. It hasn't grown much taller, it's still that short, Juxina said with a smile. It's so noisy, you need to take care of it, I'm 5 centimeters taller than last year. You obviously didn't grow taller, I'm growing. Oida and Kasina quarreled, and the atmosphere in the ramen shop was very happy. Chapter 89. Energetic, speaking of which, Kakashi, you should also be promoted to Shinobu, right? Kiyomizu said while holding the ramen. Oh, it seems like this. Kakashi looked plain, looked at him strangely, and said, how did you know? Your strength should be enough. Shinzuki said. Watergate smiled and said, Kakashi is very strong, but it should be fine for Kiyosuke to become a shinobu with your strength. After all, you have killed 4 ninja swordsmen, even if it is ours. These upper ninjas are also extremely terrifying. The information on Wu Yin's side has been sent back, and Shinsuke's reputation is very popular, and it can be said that it is the most dazzling one of the young generation. Even Kakashi, the son of Konoha Whitefang, can't hide his edge. Killed. 7 ninja swords. Lin opened her mouth wide. Do you still believe in evil? Is the 7 ninja swordsmen you mentioned the 7 ninja swordsmen? Asma squinted at him and said, there is a second team like that on the battlefield with Wu Yin. Why didn't the old man let Kiyosuke become a shinobu? It stands to reason that his strength is enough. Watergate said on the side, Shangren's promotion is not that simple. It requires ninja physical illusion and knowledge to reach Shangren. Unless it is special in special, otherwise, it may always be special. Like Kai, he doesn't have any talent for illusion and ninjutsu. It stands to reason that he is particularly superior, but he is superior. It is also because of his strong strength, plus the blessing of 8-door Dunjia, he is particularly powerful. Otherwise, the 3 generations of Naruto would not let him become a shinobu. That's it. Kiyosuke said in a thoughtful manner and suddenly said, it's over, I don't feel like I will become a shinobu in this life. Everyone. An airy summation. Backquote. Watergate wiped his sweat and asked, why do you say that? In terms of knowledge, the Zhongren exams are all cheating in the written test. Teacher Watergate, do you think I can pass the Shangren exam? Ah this. Ju Shinai smiled and said, do you want me to open a back door with the 3-generation old man? Shinai. Watergate looked at his girlfriend helplessly, even if this kind of thing can be done, don't say it. Thank you Sister Kushina for your kindness, but there is nothing special about forbearance. Kiyosuke is not too caring about this. Here is the strength, he is not afraid of anything, and the achievements of the battle are accumulated, and then he can do a few more votes. He did not believe that the 3 generations of Naruto would not upgrade himself to Shangnin. Everyone ate and drank enough. Watergate got up and said, okay, I will take them to take the exam, and I will leave first. Well, Teacher Watergate, goodbye Sister Jushinai. After paying for the meal, Shinzuki and Asma also went back to their respective homes. In the hot spring of my own home, I practiced wave riding with the shadow clone until the evening. When I heard someone knock on the door, he got up from the hot spring, evaporated the water on his body, opened the door, and found it was Lin. Huh, Lin? Why did you come to me suddenly? Come in and sit down. Lin waved her hand and said with a smile. No, I will trouble you to come under the cherry blossom tree at school tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Advertisement, oh, no problem, is it the promotion of Kakashi to Shinobu? Has Kyosuke guessed it? Yes, Kakashi passed the exam this afternoon and was promoted to Shangnin. I hope to hold a celebration party. After all, he is the first one of us to be promoted to Shangnin. I'm the first one to be promoted to Special Shinobu. Okay, Special Shinobu is also Shinobu. Lin stuck out her tongue. I wasn't there at the time. Just kidding, I will go tomorrow. Do you want to come in and sit? No, there are still several people who haven't been looking for. Waved his hand. I will ask you tomorrow. Shinzuki, goodbye. Bye. Waved his hand. Kyosuke thought for a while. What do you want to give the Shangnin gift? I have it. With a flash of inspiration, he put on his shoes, closed the door, and headed to the bookstore. The owner of the bookstore was about to close the door, and when he saw his arrival, he said displeased. I don't sell books to the kid here. Uncle, I'll give it away. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. He couldn't help but rushed in, picked a suitable one, and put down the money for the book. Hey, the kid gave too much. Oh, Shinjia ran back and took another copy. Bookstore owner. The next day under the cherry blossoms of the ninja school. Bringing the soil and holding a bunch of flowers, she was so excited that there must be something for Lin to ask me to come over. Very good, so I took this opportunity to confess. Do you want to take this opportunity to confess? Yeah. Nodding subconsciously, he was suddenly startled and found that Shinzuki was standing next to him. Tai Tu shouted. Why do you show up by my side? Because I was also asked by Lin, not just me, but also other people. So, looking at the bouquet in the hands of the soil, said, is it time to confess now? It's not time yet, bring the soil. It's not just you. Advertisement suddenly, the soil became decadent, and it was said that Kakashi was her heart. Seeing the grayish soil, Kyosuke patted him on the shoulder and said, don't be so downhearted, be more energetic, I believe you can do it, you can do it. Shinzuki. Worthy of being my best friend. With tears in his eyes and a little choked up, I can. Without energy, chasing girls with such a small voice? Loud. I can definitely, okay, very energetic. Bring soil. At this moment, Lin ran over, waved her hand, and brought the soil to hide the bouquet in her hand, but was snatched by Kyosuke. Hidden what? Give it to me. Lin trod over and smiled. Have you waited a long time? It's nice that he's not late. Lin gave it to you, passing the fire to Lin. Looking at the bouquet, Lin felt a little at a loss. Huh? Suddenly sending flowers or something. Kyosuke added. I took the soil and prepared it for a long time, but he was shy and didn't send it out. Kaisuke, what are you talking nonsense? He panicked and defended. Lin smiled, reached out to take it, and said, it's beautiful, I like it very much. It's fine if you like it, with the soil scratching his head in a daze. Shinjia, I will be my best friend from now on. There seemed to be a special pink bubble rising between the two. Youth. Lin, here we are. Asma and the others came in groups, and almost everyone in the same period was invited here by Lin. After all, Kakashi was the first one of them to be promoted to Shinobu, and the guy Kakashi was too withdrawn. This was also for him to blend in with them. Lin has been preparing for this party for a long time. Chapter 90. 3 generations of water shadows join the battlefield. While everyone was discussing it, Hongdu suddenly ran over and shouted, Brother, Teacher Dashawan is looking for you. Let your teammates go there and go to the Hokage office. The trio of Shinjia looked at each other suspiciously, and Shinjia suddenly had a bad feeling in his heart, but he still had to go. I took out 2 books from the ninja bag in the back, handed them to Lin, and said, this is a gift from Kakashi, I believe you will like it. A copy of My Ninja Love Story really has a problem, and about the stories I'm about to become a Naruto. The name is very attractive, the most attractive is the 3 words, the 18 bands. Lin. Is it really good to give this kind of gift? Bring the dirt to come over and laughed. That guy Kakashi must like it, that guy is a sorrowful pervert. Haha, we should have a task, so let's go first, take the soil to protect Lin. Of course. Also, if there is a strange old man claiming to be a member of the Uchiha clan, you must be careful and then be careful. You must first agree to his request, and remember that if you do encounter it, anything will happen afterwards. Don't believe it if you believe me. He was taken aback by looking at Judo seriously, but seeing Shinsuke's serious expression, Judo nodded, I understand, I will be careful when encountering strange old people. This advice is not enough, but now there is no time to do other things. The 3 left with red beans, and Lin said strangely, why did Shinjia tell you to be careful of the old man? I don't know, but believe him. I don't know the reason, but I just choose to believe it. Naruto office Kyosuke and the others rushed to this place. Oshimaru and Sarutobi Risen were all here, their faces sinking like water. Seeing their arrival, Dashimaru was straightforward. Let's go to the fog-hidden battlefield. Huh? Is it so fast? Why did Mr. Oshimaru suddenly go to the hidden battlefield in the fog? Da Shiwan said. 3 generations of Shui Ying have taken action. The 4 characters of the 3 generations of Water Shadow represent the strongest power of the water country, and this is also the second shadow to join the battle. Advertisement Sarutobi Hizen said, because of the deaths of the 7 ninja swordsmen, the 3 generations of Shui Ying had to join the fight. Menyan and Shaochen could not hold on, and the battlefield of the land of the country. He can be said to be very busy now, and the enemies of the country of fire are in a very dangerous situation. But the appearance of the 3 generations of water shadows turned the battlefield with the mist into the most dangerous place. But he is Hokage, and Hokage will never end if he is a last resort. Therefore, Oshimaru, who has just retired from the battlefield of the Kingdom of Wind, is undoubtedly the best candidate. Mito Menyon and Zhuan Kei Shaochen asked Kyosuke and the others to assassinate the 7 ninjas mainly to reduce the fog hidden on the Konoha battlefield. Who knows that the 3 generations of Mizukage will be forced to end in person, it is better not to kill. However, all the killings are done. It is a foregone conclusion. What we need to do now is to stabilize the situation in the country of waves first. Wuyan was driven out of the country of waves, Konoha marched into the country of water, but the appearance of 3 generations of water shadows made the situation suddenly tense. This is also one of the reasons why the 3 generations of Shui Ying ended up, not just because of the death of the 7 ninja swordsmen. The most important thing is that Konoha hid the country of water. Without the ninja sword, the mists of the 7 people and the tiger without the claws, but there are still 3 generations of sharp teeth like Shui Ying. I know, I will immediately take Xinjia and them to the battlefield. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Because of the sudden invasion of the land, there are not many troops that can be allocated to you. The country of the wind needs troops to guard, and Jiraiya is also stabilizing the situation on the country of thunder. In addition, the sudden invasion of the country of the earth caused most of the combat power that was originally drawn back from the battlefield of the country of the wind to be separated. Going there, Oshimaru can get very few troops. Dashiwan shook his head, it's okay. He didn't care about this, as long as the 3 generations of water shadows were dragged, the others would be fine. You can set off right away, now it won't work for a minute. Sarutobi said with a headache, in other words, you will not end. He couldn't complain, but he also knew that Hokage was going to be in Konoha village. Once he was attacked, it would not be a good thing. He will only fight in special circumstances. Let's go, Red Beans go too. Shinzuki was shocked and asked, Azuki has just graduated, is it really good for her to be on the battlefield? Let her see the cruelty of the battlefield. After Oshimaru finished speaking, he left with the 4 of them. Advertisement Sarutobi Hizen continued to smoke, thinking about what he should do next. On the road, the clear interface is sinking like water, and now it seems that the land of the earth can't go to, take the earth. After sighing, the battlefield will move to Wuyan village. Lin will also come over, protect Lin. As long as Lin doesn't have an accident, the idiot who brought the soil will never be blackened. Dashimaru said, Kaisuke-kun, are you afraid? That's not true, it's just 3 generations of water shadows, and he might not be able to do anything to me. It's just that my vacation is gone. Something after the holiday is, don't worry. Carrying a backpack, Osamaru said, we want to go to the battlefield of the water country as quickly as possible. I will take the first step. I can't wait for you, Kyosuke, you, as the team leader, led Asuma and the others. Yes. Dashiwan nodded, speeded up, and soon disappeared. Hongdu asked, brother, shall we not chase teacher Dashiwan? If you can't catch up, the teacher is much faster than us, we can only follow. The main purpose of Oshimaru's acceleration is to take over Konoha's men and horses as quickly as possible. Although Mito Menyon and Zhuanbu Shaochen are the elders of the village, their strength is still different from that of the 3 generations of Water Shadow. Coming here is mainly to balance the combat power of both sides. And the 3 generations of Shui Ying may launch an attack at any time, and if you go earlier, you will be less dangerous. As for Xinjia and the others, it is enough for them to go to the battlefield slowly behind. Brother, what is the battlefield like? Itsuki asked. The place of the dead. Kyosuke said, if you accidentally lose your life, Itsuki Beans, I actually don't approve of teacher Oshimaru taking you to the battlefield, but only those who have experienced the baptism of blood and fire are the real ninjas. He said to Hongdu, on the battlefield, you can only believe in the weapons in your hand and your trusted teammates. Other than that, you can't believe anything. The battlefield of the ninja is full of murderous intent, and if there is a slight mistake, it will be forever. Hongdu nodded and said, I will be careful, brother. Red, please take care of the red beans. Let's speed up. Chapter 91. Special tasks. Because of the changes in the battle situation, Konoha's former base camp has moved to the border of the Nation of Waves, facing the Nation of Water across the sea, and can advance and retreat and defend. Some Konoha ninjas entered the territory of Water Country, causing a lot of trouble to Mist. After losing the 6 ninja swords and the 7 ninjas, the action and attack power of the Misty ninjas is much worse than before, and more Misty blood ninjas appear on the battlefield, but except for the militant Kagaya clan, the other ninjas fought, a little daunting. The blood ninja is an indispensable talent of the ninja. It is very difficult for every family to give birth to a blood ninja. Not every clan is the same as Hyuga and Uchiha. Basically, the blood can be awakened by any stimulation, following the bounds. Their blood succession boundary needs to be awakened, and not every tribe can be awakened. The blood ninjas are very precious. They have powerful strength and represent the prosperity of the clan. They cannot die on the battlefield. This also led to the reason why those ninjas on the battlefield did not dare to go desperately, but were unable to expel Konoha's people from the country. This instead allowed Konoha's ninja to gain a foothold in the country of water. The 3 Chingias were still led by the Day Slack, forming a detection team, shuttled through the woods. There was a Day Slack. They did not need to guard the surroundings at all. They had already checked the sites of 1 kilometer in a radius. It's just a routine patrol. Nikkei said, well, I'll be here today. There is nothing around the camp. Konoha's temporary camp in the water country was led by Oshimaru. As for the 2 elders who seemed to be eating dry meals, he arranged for the base camp in the 9 country to manage logistics. He didn't want the two old guys gesticulating while he was directing the battle. Dashimaru is not a good-tempered 3th-generation Hokage, and tolerates two consultants to influence his own decision-making. The implementation of the Hokage consultant system is to decentralize power and weaken oneself. He would not do this kind of self-digging. After Shinzuki and the others returned to the camp and reported their patrols, Shinzuki was stopped by Oshimaru. Kingzuki-san, you stay, I have something to look for you. Oh, I don't know what Dashiwan is looking for, but it shouldn't be a good thing. Nikkei waited for the people to leave, and only Oshimaru Kiyomizu and a red bean were left in the camp. As for why the red beans are here, Dashimaru made it, leaving Adzuki bean by her side to facilitate her teaching, and it can also protect her, unless the big camp is breached by someone hidden in the mist, otherwise no one can hurt him. Teacher Oshimaru, what's the matter? I need you to perform a task alone. Advertisement, what's the task? Grab a member of the Ghost Lamb clan, I want to study the difference between your body and their secret arts. Shinjia, co-author, you haven't given up yet. He still remembered that Dashimaru was taken into the ditch by himself. He hadn't slept for several days. In the end, he couldn't hold it anymore. He chose to give up. Unexpectedly, when Wu Yan came, he rekindled his desire to study. Myself? Yes. By the way, shouldn't you send a few people to meet me? The Ghost Lamb clan is sparsely populated, it is difficult to capture on the battlefield, and the water country is rich in water resources. They have almost no weaknesses, frontal capture is no longer possible, so they can only come secretly. But my characteristics are not compatible with that of the Ghost Lamb clan. Basically, I was restrained by them. I know, so if you come secretly, the village won't let me study the Ghost Lamb clan. Although it is a bit dangerous, I believe that your ability is enough to cope with it. As long as a Ghost Lamb clan masters the secret of hydration, it will do. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. There was a curious color in Dashimaru's pair of snake pupils. He wanted to study the principle of the hydration secret technique of the Ghost Lamb family, and then use this to reverse the secret of Shinzuki. As a researcher, curiosity is an important force to push them forward. The curiosity of all unknowns is also the reason for the advancement of mankind. Kyosuke said, but now it's hard to see people from the Ghost Lantern clan on the battlefield. That's why you are needed. Oshimaru Mori sneered with a bad feeling. The art of dispelling the face. Dissolve and take away the face of others, and stick it on your own face to play the role of disguising and disguising. Compared with the transformation technique, the biggest advantage of this disguise method is that it will not be seen by the easily powerful ninja. As long as the imitation is perfect enough, no one can see through it. But the only drawback is that the methods are too cruel. Kyosuke feels chills and refuses very much advertisement. Not bad, you look annoying. Yes, it's disgusting. Kyosuke said, is there no other ninjutsu? Teacher, I can't accept this technique. You are still too young. This technique can prevent you from being easily seen by the Misty People. After all, you have to hide in the Misty People. Just sneak in. Kyosuke waved his hand and said, as long as you send me into the mist, teacher, I have a way to find the Ghost Lamb clan. Sneak in. Why do you want to kill all the people who saw you? Recalling the joke that Shinjia used to make, Dashimaru said with a smile. To create chaos and fish in troubled waters is always the best way to hide yourself, Shinzuki said. In that case, I won't interfere with you, can you escape? That is, you taught me how to escape my life, the teacher. On the life-saving skills of the ninja world, Oshimaru said that no one would dare to say second, but even if he died, he could still survive. Although it hasn't reached that point yet, there are no more than 5 fingers in the ninja realm who can grasp the Oshimaru. As for the clearing agent who got the true biography of Oshimaru, among other things, there is still a life-saving kung fu. In that case, I am not worried anymore, I will send you in here. Bang, a snake suddenly appeared in the camp. Before Shinjia could react, the snake swallowed him. The bang disappeared. Hondo asked curiously, teacher, did you send brother to Wu Yan? Wu Yan has an enchantment, I can't directly send it in, but it's okay to send it to Wu Yan's vicinity. Then it's up to your brother to find a way to get in. Dashimaru smiled and said, this is also a trial for him, Adzuki, your brother is different from you. He has extremely powerful power, but he has not used it himself, and will always be just a little trouble, it's impossible to grow. The power contained in Shinjia's body is huge, but this little guy has not used it, so it won't work. Only by defeating the immature self in the past can people grow. Shinjia, he just needs to grow up, he will be fearless when he throws everything out. Chapter 92. Dive into the Mista Forest in Wu Yan Village. A snake burrowed out of the soil, opened its mouth, and stretched out a hand from it, covered with disgusting mucus. Shinzuki crawled out, bitterly cold. No matter how many times he uses it, he feels sick. It's disgusting, why can Uncle Snake hold it back? Maybe, this kind of movement can only be used with the kind of abnormality of Dashiwan, right? The big snake disappeared, and Shinzuki found a stream to wash away the mucus on his body. Climbing ashore, looking at the faraway, misty hidden village, sighed, what kind of mission is this? Sneaking into the hidden misty village is super dangerous. If you get caught, it may be in the next half of your life. Spent in a small black room. It may even be sliced and studied. It would be very dangerous if found in the dark part of the fog. The hidden part of the mist was established by the second-generation water shadow modeled on the Anbu system established by the second-generation Hokage, but the hidden part of the mist is more dangerous than Konoha's. Anbu was originally to perform some shameful tasks, assassinations, spying on intelligence, etc., while Wu Yan's methods were more cruel. After all, Wu Yin's style has always been harsh and unusual, and Anbu is more terrifying. He was cruel to his own people, let alone a foreign ninja. There is an enchantment around Wu Yin village, and it is impossible to run out from other places. This is troublesome. Can only the main entrance be allowed to enter? There are barriers around every ninja village, but there are strong and weak, and the barrier of Wu Yin village, one of the 5 great ninja villages, must be strong. Since the establishment of the Wu Yin village, there have been continuous reinforcements, and it is not a simple matter to break through. Like Konoha, there is only one entrance to the barrier, and that is the gate. Dignantly walking through the gate, it really fits my way of behavior. Transformed into an old man hanging down, crouching on his back, sticking a cane, and slowly walking towards the fog-invisible gate. There is no reason why the mist is called misty. There is a faint mist everywhere, which does not disperse all year round, and the clouds above the head are dense, as if it is about to rain. Wu Yin was surrounded by a stream of water, and only a bridge allowed it to communicate with the outside world. The fog on the bridge was thick, and the old man Shingzuki turned and slowly walked out. Looking at the gate were 2 misty Zongren. It was during the war period that they couldn't provide many manpower. Although they were 2 Zongren, they were also good hands, and even Shangren could hold them back. But, don't come to see the door without the power of the 2 future door gods of Konoha. Hey, old man. Now Wu Yin doesn't accept the foreign population, go back and forth wherever you go. A shark Fang waved his hand impatiently, and said very tiredly. I'm here to visit my granddaughter. She is a ninja in Wu Yin. The 2 ninja masters do well, let the old man come in. Advertisement Kyosuke trembled, as if the wind would fall. Another brown-haired ninja said impatiently, your granddaughter is dead, get out, get out. Dead, dead? Kyosuke's body shook, and his muddy old eyes were full of shock. He trembled and said, no, it's impossible. She's a ninja, how could she die? When they heard, blood successor ninja, the 2 Zongren frowned and looked at him. It is impossible for ordinary old men to know this. Shark Fang asked, what is your granddaughter's name? Terumi Ming. 2 people. After a moment of stunner, the 2 became furious, and Shark Tooth grabbed Kyosuke's collar and said angrily, damn old man, are you here to entertain me? Terumi Ming is the eldest lady of Terumi family. How could there be you? Such a relative? Are you? A snake crawled out of his collar and returned to Kyosuke's cuff. Kyosuke narrowed his eyes and smiled and said, what? The ninja who guards the door is so weak, he is really not afraid of death. What's the situation? The brown-haired ninja suddenly saw that his companion stopped moving, and immediately pulled out kunai and stabbed Kyosuke. But this blow stabbed the shark tooth. Oh, there was no stabbing. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. With a flick of his hand, several poisonous snakes flew out, biting on the brown-haired ninja with their mouth open. The poison was injected, and they fell to the ground instantly. Okay, the next step is shadow clone art, I beg you here. Give it to me. Shinji nodded, changed into another look, rushed into the door, and flames appeared on the shadow clone. The next second, boom. A deafening explosion resounded through the entire mist, and everyone looked in the direction of the gate in unison. In the Shuiying building, the 3 generations of Shuiying, who looked handsome and squinted, with long hair scattered, said, what's the matter? Check it out. Yes. Soon after, he was affected and said, Shuiying-sama, the gate was attacked by someone. It may be Konoha. What? 3 generations of Mizukage was furious. Is Konoha's B************* D already so self-willed? What about people? Someone has been sent to hunt down, and several groups of ninjas have gathered at the gate. Among them are 2 ninjas from the Mizuki clan and 1 from the Kagaya clan. 3 generations of Shui Ying had a headache. The Wu Yin ninja clan had already started not wanting to fight. This group of guys only thought of their own clan and never considered the village at all. Advertisement now that this situation has occurred, it is estimated that it is even more difficult to control. Take full care. In addition, your Onbi will track down the murderer for me, and don't let Konoha's ninja get into the village. Yes. When the Onbi ninja left, Mizukage sighed, the eventful autumn. Cough cough cough. He coughed suddenly and violently, covered his mouth, and looked at the blood on his hands. The body is almost dying. Teacher, my body is already pineapple, and I will follow you soon. He took out the secret medicine and suppressed his illness. His body was in a state of exhausted oil and dead. He had not lived for a few years, and he had to hold on to it. That group of damn ninjas, it was them who started the war, and it was them who wanted to end the war. How could there be such a good thing? It is necessary to leave hope for the village, Orochimaru. Legend has it that Sannin is not easy to deal with. But fortunately, Wu Yin is supported by those outstanding younger generations. The body recovered, 3 generations of Shui Ying got up and decided to see the situation. At the same time, Misty Gate, the solid gate, was directly destroyed by Kyosuke's explosion, and a group of Misty ninjas began to rescue the Misty ninjas who were crushed under the stone. Help me. A ninja who was not seriously injured was crushed by the gravel in his lower body, bloody, stretched out his hand, and the Misty ninja who came to rescue him stretched out his hand. Quick, quick rescue. Someone immediately rescued him, put him on a stretcher, and quickly rushed to the Wu Yin hospital. Find a perceptive ninja and let him perceive people who are still alive. Yes. Chapter 93. Fog Hidden Hospital. There was a mess at the gate, and the wounded were rushed into the hospital by their companions. The lights in the operating room quickly turned on. After the initial examination, a medical ninja was shocked to find that the man had no damage. He immediately discovered something wrong. He was about to call for help and covered his mouth with one hand. Shish tilde. The wounded changed back to Kyosuke's appearance, and said with a smile. Don't be so nervous, it's not good to attract people. A medical ninja dare not move. Really good, click. Kyosuke moved quickly, twisting his neck and wiping his hands. He pulled off his clothes and became like this medical ninja, put on his clothes, put on a mask, and disguised himself. Then dragged the man to the hospital bed, changed his face with disguise, and covered it with a white cloth. After doing all this, he walked out of the operating room and found that the person who sent him was no longer there. It is estimated to save other people. Dive in successfully. It's that simple to sneak in. To create chaos and transform into a fisheye confuse, after deceiving the first few people, there is nothing to pay attention to. The doctor's corpse was treated. In the fog, the corpse was handled professionally. Whether it is dealing with corpses or getting information from corpses, Mist is first rate, even Konoha can hardly match. You have to find the Ghost Lamp family as soon as possible, but will those guys really come to the hospital? The body of the Ghost Lantern clan is rather special, and ordinary injuries can be quickly recovered as long as there is water. They should not come to the Wuyan hospital, and they don't know if they can come. Sneaked into the archives room of the hospital and checked the recent list. During the war, the number of wounded was very large. After reading through several files, no one from the Ghost Lantern clan was found. Hey, she was actually injured. The file is Terumi Ming's medical record. Before Konoha entered the country of water, Terumi Ming and others encountered Konoha ninjas, desperately resisted, and were finally rescued by the Misty Ninja who rushed over. Even the cause of the injury is recorded, but the Misty Ninja is careful. The file room is back to its original state. If you remember it well, one of Terumi Ming's teammates is from the Ghost Lantern clan. Go and see if you can catch that guy. Advertisement. Close the door of the archives room and head to Terumi Ming's ward. Although she is the eldest of the Terumi family, she was not taken back by the family for training, but chose to recuperate in the hospital. Because of her special status, a separate ward was specially arranged for her, but the area is small. Tuck tuck. There was a knock on the door. Terumi Mei, who was wearing a hospital gown and bandaged around her neck and head, whispered, "Please come in." "Excuse me." Shinjia walked in. "Dr. Kakagawa." "Miss Terumi, how do you feel today?" Was the person who killed himself named Kakagawa. "Thanks to the efforts of all the doctors, I am recovering very well." "That's good." Kyosuke nodded, and Terumi Ming said suspiciously, "Dr. Kakagawa doesn't need an examination today?" "An examination? What to check?" "Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi." Kyosuke, who didn't know what the inspection was, said calmly, This, Terumi-san is recovering well. Today's inspection is temporarily put on hold. I still have some important things." Today, the gate of the mist was blocked by Konoha's ninja. It exploded, and many wounded appeared. What, is Konoha already arrogant to this point? Terumi Mei squeezed the white sheet tightly, very upset. "No, I'm also forced to be helpless. If I can, I really don't want to come to the fog. I only know that a lot of the wounded have come, and I have to take care of the wounded. It doesn't make sense to come here if you haven't seen the Ghost Lantern clan." Opened the door and took a look. There were two backs in the corridor, a man and a woman, who seemed to be looking for something. When they looked back, they saw the dark masks on their faces. Why are they here?" Kyosuke, who had a guilty conscience, hurriedly closed the door. Terumi Ming looked over and asked, "Is there anything else? Dr. Kakagawa?" "A big event. My ex-girlfriend is here. I have to hide. It's rude. She is in the shadow of the fog, and has a cold personality, and broke up with her for some reason. If it is possible, I will say that I have never been." Seeing Shinjia suddenly opened the window and jumped out. "Excuse me." Advertisement. Before he could figure out the situation, Terumi Ming saw two people from the hidden part of the mist pushing in. Question. "Miss Terumi, did you see Dr. Kakagawa?" It really came to him. Terumi Mei decided to help others and said, "No, please don't disturb me to rest." "Sorry, please notify us immediately if you see it." "Isn't it? You care about Dr. Kakagawa so much?" The door was taken, and the two went out of the room and said, "Konoha's ninja came in and killed Kakagawa. We must find him as soon as possible." When the person handled the corpse sent down by Shinjia, he discovered the disguise technique. After the disguise was lifted, it was found that it was the body of Dr. Kakagawa. He immediately notified the hidden part of the mist, and the hidden part of the mist immediately began to investigate. Soon after, Kyosuke climbed up and said, "I was scared to death. Thank you, Miss Terumi." "It's nothing. Speaking of it, Dr. Kakagawa, your ex-girlfriend cares about your appearance very much." "Yeah, you want me to die?" He guessed that his identity had been exposed, otherwise the hidden part of the mist would not appear here. No, he would have to think of a new way to disguise later. Seeing him a little panicked, Terumi Mei smiled. What a shadow it must leave. "Speaking of which, what kind of character will your boyfriend be in the future?" "You will be single for a lifetime." Terumi Ming's face turned black when he thought of that annoying guy. How could she be single for a lifetime? Cough cough, I'm sorry, I made you laugh. Alas, her possessiveness is too strong. Even if I come into contact with female patients, I will play a temper. Alas, as a doctor, how can I not relieve female patients, so I broke up, sorry. "It's nothing, I can only say that the lady cares about you very much. I will find a way to explain clearly to her in the future, goodbye." He waved his hand, walked out of the ward, found a utility room, and became a cleaning staff of the hospital, carrying a mop and bucket, and began to clean the floor, suppressing the chakra in the body to avoid being discovered. The best place to contact the Ghost Lanterns is the hospital. It seems that he is going to stay here for a long time. There are a lot of wounded in the hospital, and sooner or later the ghost lamp family will come out to visit the sick. Mopping the ground, passing by the hidden part of the mist that was looking for him. A misty shadow turned his head suspiciously, looking at the back who was mopping the floor. What's the matter? The other one asked. Nothing, it may be my illusion. Chapter 94. The tablet is not enough to attract me. Well, the misty fish balls taste really good. On the foggy street, Kiyoseki, who ran out of the hospital for a walk, bit the fish balls to go shopping. To be honest, the foggy fish balls taste so good. It's not a good view. They're shrouded in fog all year round, and you can't see them clearly. There is no thought of shopping. I bought a big bag of fish balls and left. He lives in the hospital now, casually becomes a wounded, finds a sickbed to lie down on the spot, no one can recognize him. The shadowy part of the fog looking for him has recently increased, but he still dare not say anything for fear of causing unnecessary panic. Hiccup tilde. Slim around the bay, returned to the hospital and continued to be his cleaning staff. Mopping the floor, although there is a smell of disinfectant on the body, but there is still a smell of fish balls. Boom. A figure ran into him from behind, knocking him out. Ow, sorry, sir, are you okay? The nurse panicked, apologized again and quickly helped Kyosuke up. It's okay, no problem. He picked up the medical record sheet on the ground and handed it to the little nurse. He narrowed his eyes when he saw the medical record sheet of one of them. Murray Gina. Is this guy hurt too? This is a fish that slipped through the net. If it wasn't for him to run fast last time, the Ninja 7 would have finished playing. Unexpectedly, this guy was also injured and went to the hospital. This was a good opportunity. Quickly jot down the above information, handed the medical record to the little nurse calmly, and said with a smile. Be careful, you can't run wild in the corridors of the hospital. Sorry, I'm very sorry, but I still have something to do. Sorry, I will invite you to dinner next time. The little nurse was very busy, picking up the compiled medical records and hurriedly left. Shinzuki didn't care either, carrying a bucket and a mop, and returned to the storage room. Unconsciously, she entered the women's bathroom, and soon a plump female nurse came out. The shoulders are so sore, I knew it would be flatter. Konoha's nurse sister and her child shouldn't be hungry, right? This appearance and figure are the most popular female nurses in Konoha Hospital. When they came to the pharmacy, the head nurses and sisters walked around, busy. An older nurse called him. Who? Send this to Miss Terumi's ward, this is her medicine today. Yes. He took the medicine and left in a hurry. Advertisement during the action, that slender figure did not know how many injured Misty Ninjas had been attracted. Oh, the thread broke. A Misty Ninja screamed. Wait, the place where you sew is not. Yes, the thread broke there, go and call a doctor for me. There was a flurry of jumps, and he came to Terumi Ming's ward in a familiar way. What is this? Why did you come here again? Calm down, push the door and enter, it's rude, Miss Terumi, this is your medicine today. Oh, thank you, you two go out too, I'm going to change my dressing. Yes, Master Ming. There were two other people in the room, the two former teammates of Terumi Ming. Wei Yezu was wrapped in a bandage, and Gui Deng Zanyu didn't have any injuries, just a little languid, and there were thick dark circles around her eyes. They were also injured before, but not as serious as Terumi Ming. They have been on missions recently, so they have to come over to see her. Shinzuki was very happy to see the ghost lamp Xuanyue and the appearance of the mission target, but there was no change on his face. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Gui Deng Zanyu and Wei Yezu take a look at him and left. Kyosuke was puzzled. The nurse she became a big sister can poke a lot of people's XP system, but these two people actually dismissed it? Are two hot water bottles holding my chest? Putting the medicine on the bedside, preparing to leave, Terumi Ming asked. Where are you going? I can't get the medicine alone. On medicine? She was stiff and kept smiling. Sorry, Miss Terumi, I am new here today. Because I am too busy, the head nurse asked me to come. I didn't think about it well. May I ask you where you were injured? Terumi Mei didn't think much and smiled and said, it's okay, my back hurts, I'm bothering you. Back to back, I got it, how to do, so nervous. Terumi Mei smiled, turned her back to him, took off her hospital gown, revealing her white shoulders and her white lotus root arms. Other than that, the other places were wrapped in bandages and she couldn't see anything. Sorry to bother you. Said with her back to Kiyomizu and unwrapped the bandage. When Kiyomizu, who was still thinking about it, saw the hideous wound on her back, he put out the dirty thoughts in her heart. The wound was deeply visible, and it almost hurt the spine. It should be Konoha's master who could hurt Terumi Ming. Advertisement. Terumi Mei smiled bitterly. The Konoha's shinobu is too powerful. My team and I encountered them and tried our best to kill them, but we were more or less injured. I was injured. The heaviest, will it leave scars? The girl is very concerned about this, Shinzuki said. If you don't handle it well, it will leave scars, but rest assured, trust the doctor. Well, please give me medicine. Lie on the bed with his back exposed. If Kyosuke attacked her at this time, Terumi Mei could easily kill her. However, he still extinguished this thought. He saved his own dog's life, and he can't take advantage of others to endanger others. Wiping the wound with medicinal cotton, Terumi was in a cold sweat from the pain, Shinzuki said warmly. Hey, it doesn't hurt or it hurts, shinobu will pass. Give Terumi Mei medicine as quickly as possible, and then, bandage. This. I numb my paws, what can I do? No, I am a girl now. What happened to the girl changing her bandage? No, what's so good about the ordinary? Thinking like this, my heart is clear, and the sky is not shocked. Well, the tablet can't attract me yet, Terumi Ming, who will become a great ninja in the future. He was also a tablet when he was young. The growth of human beings is really terrible. Some hurriedly bandaged Terumi Mei. Terumi Mei, who put on the hospital gown again, smiled and said, I really trouble you, what should I call you? Nothing, call me Chingza. Okay, thank you, Sister Chingza. This is what I should do. It is the doctor's duty to save the dead and heal the wounded. He smiled and packed up the bloody gauze, and was about to leave. The door was knocked. Please come in, excuse me. A young man walked in, one with a blue skyward hairstyle, earrings similar to magic charms on both ears, and a blindfold covering his eyes on his right eye. He looked square and in his 20s. Seeing the visitor, Terumi Mei was pleasantly surprised. It's Ching, what's the matter? Ching smiled and said, I heard that you were injured and I have not been free. Let's take a look at you now. Chapter 95. Blue Eyes. Hearing the name, Ching, Kiyasuke's body tightened in an instant. The future 5 generations of Water Shadow Guards, Konoha Hyuga and the Moon's Dadong Mache people, are the only people with white eyes. How is it? Is Hyuga's white eyes still suitable? Terumi asked. Ah, I've got used to it. It deserves to be Konoha's strongest pupil technique. After I have lost my eyes, I feel that my strength has increased again. Stroking his eyes, his luck was really good. He was able to find a member of the Hyuga sect family and be able to snatch one of his eyes. Kiyomizu also heard about this incident. He and his elder brother, Hyuga's grandfather, participated in the war, and under the siege of Wuyin, he lost one eye. The clan is not like a division. In order to protect the family's blood inheritance boundary, the Hyuga clan is divided into clan and clan. The clan is the true successor of the Hyuga clan and is responsible for protecting and carrying forward the Hyuga clan. Only the eldest son of the clan patriarch can succeed. The task of dividing the family is to protect the clan in spite of their lives and prevent the outflow of white eyes. Moreover, the white eyes of the division are not 360 degrees without blind spots in all directions, but there is a blind spot of vision that spreads from the spine to the back for 1 degree. Once caught at this blind spot, the possibility of death is very high. There is the mark of the caged bird in the separate family, which will be under the control of the clan. If there is rebellion, the clan can use the mark of the caged bird to destroy the opponent's brain. This mark can also destroy the white eyes of the person who divides the family after his death, so as to avoid being taken by others. Ching succeeded in taking away one of the eyes of Grandpa Nisa, and the family that accompanied him died in order to protect him, but at that time Nisa was sent to other places to take part in the mission and escaped. When he talked to Kyosuke and the others, his expression was very complicated. He had long been dissatisfied with the system of the Hyuga clan's clan and division. This was the source of their clan's pain, and because Ching robbed one of his eyes, their grandfather, who was consciously sorry for the clan, returned to the Konoha clan and died in depression. As for Ching, he succeeded in Konoha's wanted order of gold, and the reward is generous, regardless of life or death. Ms. Terumi, if there is nothing wrong, I will leave first. If you have any questions, you can call us. Chingjia decided to slip first, holding the medicine and preparing to leave. When Ching passed by, Ching felt something was wrong, and suddenly grabbed Shingsuke's arm. With a painful expression, Iwa said with rain, You hurt me, Tilda. Advertisement. The tone is delicate and soft, which makes people feel protective, let alone young. Even the girl Terumi Ming gave birth to a caring heart, frowning and saying, Green, what are you doing? They're helping me with medicine. Hearing this, Ching's face suddenly sank, and he said, I heard from the senior management that the ninja who was mixed with Konoha in the village has not grown. Since I came in, you have been very nervous. This eye is from the wood. I got it from Yi Risheng's clan. I haven't really used it to anyone, so let's try it with you. Roll my eyes. The meridians around the right eye suddenly swelled up, instantly seeing through Chingsuke's real body, and seeing the huge chakra he was suppressing. Suddenly, he shouted, You are the Konoha ninja. Terumi Ming's face instantly flushed, and she was ashamed and angry. Compared to a stranger, she believed in Ching more. If this is really a Konoha ninja, wouldn't it mean that she just changed her dressing? Chingsuke's face suddenly sank, and he picked up the bandage-cutting scissors in the tray and pierced Ching's eyes. In an instant, the talisman-like earrings around his ears instantly came to the white eyes, the scissors pierced them, and sparks burst out all of a sudden. If he missed a hit, he raised his leg and kicked, forcing Ching to step back. Kyosuke stepped back and said, Mist Seal technique is also quite powerful. It can actually protect your eyes in advance. Amulet. A masterpiece of the sealing team of the Mist Hidden Division. When the thing to be guarded is threatened, it will be protected in the form of a seal. Only the people of the sealing team can unlock it. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. During this period, Ching can still use white eyes. Solving escape. Demonstration of melting. Terumi spit out a large amount of viscous liquid, sealed the window. Ching guarded the door, and exited the room when she saw it. Then she sealed the door again and turned the ward into a confined space, resisting the pain, and stood up with a delicate sheet. His face was full of anger, and asked, Who are you? It's just a common rider passing by, remember it for me. Humph. Take it to death. The hand seals, and a thick mist is spit out from his mouth. Boiling escape. Skillful mist technique. Everything in the room that came into contact with the mist began to melt. Goodbye. If you touch it this way, it is estimated that the bones will be dissolved. Kyosuke retreated. The acid mist could not be blown away by wind in such a confined space, but he still had tricks. Water escape. The art of water dragon bomb. There was water on the ground, and the water flow formed a water dragon, impacting the sealed window, but the quality of the wall made by Terumi Mei was so good that it didn't break through. Save effort, it's impossible to break through like this. Advertisement standing in the acid mist, Terumi Ming had nothing to do. This was the acid mist she created, and she would have nothing to do. However, anger returns to anger, and she also knows the priorities, and it is best to capture the guy in front of her alive to the village. Seeing the fog getting heavier and heavier, Kyosuke smiled and said, I can always get out of here. Clenched his fist, slammed a fist against the wall next to him, the stronger fist smashed the wall, 3 fists and 2 feet went up, and a hole was made, which shocked the wounded over there. At this time, a figure rushed, it was Ching. Shadow clone technique. A group of shadow avatars appeared and avoided Ching's attack. Kyosuke smiled and said, since your eyesight is so good, let's give you some benefits. The avatars of all shadows were aware, and at the same time shouted, harem surgery. Bang 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 bang. After a burst of white fog, one by one, the big sisters, all dressed in cool clothes, appeared in the ward. Several misty ninjas lying on the hospital bed suddenly sprayed nosebleeds. Ching's situation is not too good, covering her nose, closing her eyes, and looking at the world with wide eyes. There is a group of humanoid creatures with chakra meridians in front of her. Now, the situation is much better. You really are not a man. The shadow avatars disappeared, and Kyosuke pouted his lips, unmoved by such a great technique as the harem technique. Are you a eunuch? B***************. Why did Konoha appear as a ninja like you? Instead of fighting, he went to study this weird technique. Not surprising. Very good, alright. ×4 in addition to Ching, Kyosuke and the other 3 misty ninjas reached an agreement. I won't play with you, tell the eldest lady, next time I'm destined. Before the words were over, a big knife flew in from the window and exploded with a bang. Chapter 96. I'm going to blow up, cough cough cough. The smoke from the explosion dissipated, and Wu Li Jinba's figure appeared, with a bandage on his body, and said with a grinning smile, isn't this dead? After receiving notification from the people below, he rushed here in an instant, rushed in from the window, and solved the enemy in an instant. Ask him to say that the current style of the Misty Ninja is too indecisive, just kill it directly? Ching struggled to get up, and was affected by the explosion just now, with some more injuries on his body. If he didn't roll his eyes and saw Wu Li Jinba's attack in advance, he might have died just now. It's just the other people in the ward, all are dead. The cold-blooded approach made him feel uncomfortable. Wu Li Jinba looked at Ching and said, you're not dead, I thought you would die. Different from these 4 wastes, you still have some ability. After controlling the concentration of acid mist in her ward, Terumi Ming came here and saw Wu Li Jina and the ugly blue face, and instantly understood what was going on. Suddenly, she and Ching saw a ball of flame suddenly turned into a human form, and said loudly, be careful. Wu Li Jinba hurriedly turned around, trying to wave the explosive knife droplets, but it was too late. Puff. The flame fist broke through Wu Li Jinba's intrigue. *hole. Blood sprayed out from the wound, dyeing that arm red, and the flame was still burning his internal organs. He turned his head and saw the flame gradually forming a human appearance. That is a face he will never forget forever. A kid who was only 11 or 12 years old, forcibly broke through the 7 ninja swords in the Megatron ninja world. That was the shame of his life. He didn't expect that he would be given to by this guy in his hometown. Asakawa Kyosuke. Seeing Kyosuke, Terumi Ming directly exploded, and gritted his teeth and asked, I didn't expect that the ninja who invaded Wuyan would be you. I don't want to come either. He pulled out his hand, picked up the explosive knife droplets on the ground, kicked away Wu Li Jinba's corpse with eyes open, and said, no way, my teacher gave me a troublesome task. I have to follow it. Well. That nurse was you just now? No, it's not me. Advertisement Kyosuke, who was a guilty conscience, turned his head, not daring to look into Miming's eyes. I will kill you. Terumi Ming furiously took away the kunai he had just taken out from Ching's hand, and wanted to kill him. Kyosuke waved the blasting knife droplets, causing Ao to grab Terumi Ming immediately and said, don't be impulsive, he has blasting knife droplets in his hand. As Wuyan, he was aware of the trouble with this knife. If he really wanted to say, this knife was one of the most troublesome, and it was even more troublesome than the shark muscle. Can't act rashly. The motivation here has attracted many people. You know, this is a hospital, where many injured ninjas and ninjas who come to visit their companions are gathered. After the initial riots, they began to move away from here, and a group of people gathered outside the door and window. Kiyomizu carried a knife, looked around, smiled. It's a big scene, it's exciting, CNMs, it's burning up. It was really burning, and the whole person was burning like a torch. This is going to be fried. Terumi Mei, who was fairly familiar with Kiyosuke's ability, was shocked immediately and said loudly, don't act rashly. She looked at Kiyomizu, gritted her teeth. Asakawa Kiyomizu, do you know how many innocent people are in the hospital? Not only ninjas, but ordinary civilians, and children. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. If this guy blows up here and I don't know how many people are going to die, it absolutely can't let this happen. I don't want this kind of thing either. I am a person who is afraid of society. I am afraid of gathering so many people together. Let them retreat. The face of this guy really makes people want to beat him up. I will let them go, although she wanted to suggest that, but the Misty Ninja quit. Why is a little Konoha ninja afraid of him? Didn't you see the body of Wu Li Jinba on the ground? That's it, just a Konoha ninja, are you fools? Go away. A young man with stitch marks on his left cheek said in a deep voice. That guy has a large chakra on his body. If it explodes, at least half of the building will be gone. Oh, there are still some insights, so immediately, retreat immediately, don't think about using ninjutsu to kill me, I explode faster than you. Kyosuke dropped the explosive knife droplets on the ground and put his hands on the ground, above. He smiled and said, don't forget, there's also blasting knife droplets here. It's not that fast to get the psychic scroll from the Ghost Lamp clan, right? He chuckled, holding on to victory. Advertisement. Retreat. The young man made the fog retreat, but, Yukura-sama. Stay back. Didn't you hear? Yes. Yukura. Kyosuke asked when hearing the name, are you Katachi Tachibana Yukura? Have you heard of me? Katachi Tachibana Yukura asked, of course. The next 4 generations of water shadows, perfect human pillars, and then unlucky ones that are controlled by soil. Although he looks like a teenager, in fact, his true age is not a teenager. After all, in the Incombustibles blog, he even has a grandson. It's really bad luck, Shinji said, I should retreat, too. See you next time if you're lucky. The blasting knife droplets in his hand broke away, thinking that he was summoned back. Don't even want to run. He waved his arm, the pillar of fire rushed up, and the whole person turned into flames and flew out of the window along with the pillar of fire. Katachi Tachibana Yukura immediately sealed, and when he was about to use the water to escape, the flames made by Kyosuke suddenly exploded in the air like fireworks. Falling in all directions, one after another, as fast as a meteor, fell everywhere in the misty village. Terumi Ming said immediately, ow, lock all the fireballs, that guy must be in those rushes. No, roll your eyes, naturally Ching knew, and immediately used his white eyes to lock all the fireballs, only to find that there was a person in all the fireballs in his sight. He stayed in cold sweat and said, that guy is in all the fireballs. Katachi Tachibana Yukura said, then put out all the fireballs. With that, he immediately intercepted the falling fireball with water escape. Not only him, but some ninjas who don't know the truth in the misty village also used water to escape the fireball. However, there were too many fireballs to extinguish and some fell in the misty village. One of them exploded in the hotel, igniting the entire hotel in an instant. A group of people ran out in disgrace, shouting, it's on fire, put out the fire. This is not the only place in Wuyan village, it is happening in many places. Terumi Mei immediately understood that Kyosuke had run away. This cunning fellow, you must catch him next time. Chapter 97. Ghost Light Crescent, fight the fire. Water escape. Hurry up with water escape. Water escape, the art of water dragon bomb. A water dragon plunged into the fire, but it also washed down the wooden house. Hole. Can't you make waves with water? You can use water jets. Didn't your teacher teach you? The man cursed back, I learned killing skills on the battlefield. Who learned how to fight fires? Do you like it? The man didn't know how to answer. A few more ninjas came and put out the fire together, but the cursing ninja had disappeared. Shinzuki has become an adult male on the Wuyan street with a posture that he deserves to go. There are often misty ninjas passing by, but they don't recognize him, mainly to put out the fire. It looks like we have to find a way to find the clan land of the Ghost Lamp clan. I wanted to stay in the hospital, but now it looks like it's no longer possible. Guidang Xuanyue may not come. But then I think about it, the Ghost Lamp clan must be a master, and he may not be able to come back after he goes there. After all, the physique of the group of guys is exactly the opposite of their own, and they might be restrained by them. Forget it, take one step at a time and find a place to rest first. Thinking about finding a good hotel to rest all night. Sleeping soundly at night, the door of the room was opened, and a snake crawled in and onto his face. The coldness made him very uncomfortable. He woke up and took the snake away from his face. His eyes were so sleepy that he couldn't open his eyes. The little snake opened his mouth and spit out a small scroll. Strike the spirit, open it and see that it is the news from Dashimaru, so he doesn't need to worry. Stay in the fog for a few more days, if he can catch a few more blood ninjas and go back. Oh my god, one ghost lamp is not enough, we need others. Holding the scroll with his hand, blue smoke came out of the gap between his fingers. Soon after, he went to the toilet and washed away the remaining ashes. After washing his hands, he took out a small scroll and wrote the information he had been spying on Wuyan. The main thing was to report on the killing of Wooly Jinba. After the snake swallowed it, he slipped into the quilt and continued to sleep. The little snake crawled out slowly, got into the sewer, and disappeared. Konoha camp when eating in the morning, Hongdu came in with a snake in his arms and said, Teacher Dashuan, brother sent the news back. Get it. The little snake spit out the scroll, the red bean took it and handed it to the big snake pill. Advertisement. When I opened it, the corner of Oshimaru's mouth twitched, then smiled, and said, good job. Although I didn't catch the experiment item I wanted, the 7 ninja swordsmen can no longer be assembled in a short time. There was originally one left, but now it was killed by Qingjia. It was basically impossible to get it together. Brother, did you even kill the last one? Hongdo's eyes lit up, and she looked at her senior with admiration. Well, the record is good. He may not be able to come back in a short time. These days, the fog is hidden and the door is closed. The 3 generations of Shui Ying still sit in Wuyan village and can't fight. Hongdu, let me teach you some ninjutsu. All right. One big and one small walked out of the camp. At the same time, Shinzuki was brushing his teeth and washing his face, went downstairs to finish dinner, and went shopping. Then he ran into the gambling house and soaked for a day, while the misty ninja was still looking for him laboriously. In the evening, carrying a bulging wallet to the fish noodle shop. The delicious fish soup with Q-bomb noodles tastes great, but in his mind it is not as good as Yile ramen. Eat and drink, prepare to go out and stroll again. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Looking around and not paying attention, a drunk man walked out of the alley next to him and hit him. Are you okay? He patted the dust on his body and prepared to lift the drunk man on the ground. Get out of here. Who would have imagined that the drunk pushed him away? The drunk staggered up and scolded him. What are you? You dare to stand in the way of this uncle? Do you know who this uncle is? An elderly passerby on the side whispered. It's the ghost light crescent moon again. He was the second-generation adult's youngest son for wrongdoing, and he lost the second-generation adult's face. Yeah, okay. The ghost lamp family? Or the younger son of the second-generation Shuiying ghost lantern Wanyue? It's not that when the doze comes, someone gives pillows. As the younger son of the second-generation Shuiying, he must have inherited his blood inheritance boundary, but this guy is a wastewood, the youngest son. It is estimated that the head of the ghost lamp clan is a direct descendant of the second-generation Shuiying, and the younger son naturally does not hope. Depressed, it is possible to use alcohol to dispel sorrows. In an instant, Shinzuki made up a lot of family ethics dramas, coughed, and smiled. It turned out to be Lord Crescent. What a coincidence. Do you remember me? I'm your friend Jintoki Sakata. We have seen it in an izakaya? Advertisement? Huh. Banshin. Who is it? Which green onion are you? I want to flatten this guy. Ha ha ha. You really forget your things. The last time you went to the izakaya. The wine I asked you to drink. Fujimaru-san was there at that time. My uncle doesn't remember, but my uncle wants to drink. You and my uncle are together. The drunk-eyed ghost lantern Crescent held Shinzuki and left, regardless of who was who. A smell of wine rushed over her face. Shuin's Kyosuke frowned, resisting the discomfort, and smiled. Okay, please be careful, Lord Crescent. With a dog-legged appearance, the passers-by round did not have the desire to look at it and left one after another. This way? No, isn't it the way to the izakaya? Asked the drunken ghost lantern Crescent. Of course not. Kiyomizu squinted his eyes, grabbed his head and slammed into the wall. Suddenly, the head of the ghost lamp Crescent exploded and turned into a large spray of water. It's really not conducive to my ability. Taking advantage of the ghost lamp Crescent moon to restore the body's neutral position, Shinzuki immediately closed the seal, psychic. A sturdy big snake suddenly crowded some narrow dark alleys. Take out a red talisman with dense black runes written on it, with the word, Feng, written in the center of these runes. The sealed talisman from the hands of Oshimaru is time-sensitive, but it can also be used. The ghost lantern Crescent, who had just recovered, was quite awake, turned his head to look at Shinjia, and wanted to scold him, and a sealed talisman was affixed to his forehead. In an instant, the seal rune crawled all over his body, making him unable to move. Shinzuki said, this is your bad luck, no wonder others. Straightened the body of ghost lantern Crescent, wrote a scroll, put it in his arms, and said, open your mouth. Orochi opened his mouth obediently, and Kyosuke pushed the ghost lamp Crescent moon and put it into Orochi's mouth. Bang! The big snake disappeared. And Shinzuki transformed again, walked out of the alley, and blended into the crowd, just like being a part of it. Chapter 98. Accident. The brother of the patriarch of the Gaidong clan has disappeared. Although this B************ D has disappeared, no one thinks it is bad, but at any rate he is also the patriarch's younger brother, the younger son of the second-generation Shui Ying. Although he is a little scrapped, he is also the patriarch's younger brother anyway, and must be found. The suspect now is Kyosuke, the Konoha ninja hiding in Wuyan village. Now some people suspect that Konoha is trying to hide the blood in the mist. This is something that is absolutely unbearable. Every bloodline ninja is the village's top secret. How can it be stolen by Konoha's people? 3 generations of Tsukage, who could not tolerate this incident, went directly to the battlefield and fought with Oshimaru. Without exposing her disease, together with Katachi Yakura, they forced Oshimaru back, and sent a letter to the 3rd generation of Hokage to let him tell me something, otherwise, his 3rd generation Shuiying will go to Konoha to chat with his 3rd generation Hokage and drink tea. Sarutobi Hizen probably guessed that his disciple did a good thing, but how could he recognize this kind of thing? It is said that the fog is faintly buckling the dung basin, and there is a tendency to fight, but, except for the first fight with Dashimaru, there is still no fight. But the scent of rattling is getting stronger and stronger, and sooner or later there will be a fight. There is a tough battle to be fought. Shinjia was also notified by Dashawan that it would be good, maybe it would be of great use. Suddenly, Shinjia used frontline personnel to become underground workers, and now his task is to gather intelligence. Intelligence is often easy to collect in crowded places. Change the look, go to an izakaya, and listen to a few misty ninjas drinking and chatting there. When drunk and dim, they often spit out some useful information. This time, Kyosuke became a teenager who was not more than 15 or 16, and strolled down the street with his hands in his sleeves. Terumi Ming, with a green face and a bad face, walked towards him. I go, how can I meet them everywhere? The lingering spirits. Still keeping a fool, I have had it from the 2 of them. Hold on, it wasn't the blue-eyed Ching who stopped him, but Terumi Mei. Kyosuke pretended not to hear, and continued walking. Terumi Mei called out again, Asakawa Kyosuke. Shinzuki bit his scalp and continued walking. Terumi Ming said suddenly, Blue, catch him. How did this woman recognize me? Knowing that he can't hide, he runs wildly. The technique of multiple shadow clones, advertisement. In an instant, a large group of Kyosuke exploded on the street. Water escaped the art of water dragon bomb. A water dragon rushed up and smashed a group of shadow clones. Ching chase it. Terumi Mei chased up, separated the water body, and Ching did not stay, also separated a group of water bodies, chasing Kyosuke and his shadow clone. It is naturally impossible to conceal the movement on the street. More and more fog-hidden ninjas joined in the activities of arresting Shinzuki, but he himself had already ran away. Coming to the edge of a big house, panting hard, I'm going. How did this woman find me? Is there really a relationship between me and her? No, I have to find a place to rest, and then I have to ask him? Thinking of this, God stepped in without knowing it. This family is so rich, there is actually a small lake in the yard. Looking at the lake in the yard, Shinzuki took a breath. He really couldn't understand the life of a rich man, but his envy was over. There was a small building on the edge of the lake. He looked around and rushed in. The furniture and things in the room were neatly arranged, and there is a faint fragrance in the air. Looking at the bare pillow on the bed, it should be a girl's room. Offended, let me rest here for one night. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi, opened the closet, got into it, and used the quilt inside to shield him from the sound while preventing himself from being discovered. Really, how did Terumi Ming discover me? He was puzzled about what Terumi Ming suddenly found out about herself. He probably didn't expose it, but she just discovered herself. What's the matter? Are there any flaws? Thinking of this, lying on the quilt, fell asleep in the closet. It was dim and dark when he slept. Fortunately, he sleeps in light sleep now, and he can't get up snoring. If he is asleep, he will get up snoring. No, I'm hungry. I have to find a place to get some food. I don't know if this family has a kitchen. Remove the quilt and open the closet. In the room, a beautiful girl was taking off her ninja stockings. Chingjia. Terumi Ming. The two have big eyes to small eyes. Nice. Kyosuke rushed over to cover Terumi Ming's mouth to avoid him screaming. Advertisement. Terumi Mei bit his hand in one bite. Ah, is this girl a dog? The pain was so bad that blood leaked from the wound. You are a dog. Kyosuke couldn't help but overwhelm Terumi Mei. Naturally Terumi Mei would not let him succeed. The two began a close fight with the goal of subduing each other. It's a pity that Shinzuki is even better, and finally ends up subduing the opponent by getting a snake out of his clothes. Panting hard and tidying up his clothes, Terumi Ming's eyes were red, her beautiful eyes were hazy with mist, and an apple was stuffed in her mouth. If this scene is seen by others, it may be misunderstood as an afterthought. Miss, I heard something, what's the matter with you? The voice of a maid came from outside the door. Kyosuke immediately imitated Terumi Ming's voice and said, it's nothing. Ching learned aerobics in the hospital before, so I learned a little bit and disturbed you. By the way, you came just right. Give me some supper. The maid outside the door wondered, but did you just have dinner, miss? Chingji's face became stiff, and he coughed and said, forget it, go and rest. Yes, miss you, take a break. The maid left. After sighing, he picked up the fruit on the bedside and ate it. Looking at Terumi Mei who was about to cry, Kyosuke had a headache and said, sorry, I really don't know this is your house. Speaking of which, your house is really rich. There's a lake in the yard? He can't imagine the happiness of the rich. Faced with insincere apologies, Terumi Mei's tears rolled out of her eyes. Seeing this scene, Chingjia went into a mess, hurriedly took out a tissue and wiped his tears. Don't cry, don't cry. I'm most afraid of girls crying so uncomfortable. Hearing him say that, Terumi Mei cried even more fiercely. Woohoo! Chingji's scalp is numb, but fortunately the maid went down to rest, otherwise I don't know what happened here. Said, don't cry, say yes first, I'm not a pervert, and I don't mean to greedy your body. After looking at Terumi Ming, he added, at least not now. Don't cry, eldest sister, all said it was an accident. Anyone I find, don't cry, okay? Chapter 99. I'm an idiot. It took a long time to coax the crying Terumi Ming. Although the future will be the 5 generations of Shui Ying, she is now a little girl. The apple in her mouth was taken away and set aside. With red eyes, she looked at Chingjia in front of her and said, you be asterisk 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 D. Yes, I may be asterisk 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 D. I'm a bad guy. Now what the other party said is what he said. He doesn't want to coax her again. Speaking of it, why didn't I stun her just now? Ah, I'm a fool. Chingjia wanted to slap himself, but now it's all coaxed, and there is no way. He asked, Master Ming, how did you find me today? Humph. Terumi Ming turned her head away from him, unwilling to answer this question. Tisk. A little snake crawled out of his sleeve, and Chingjia said, how about, if you don't say it, the snake will enter your mouth, get into your stomach, and then, stir inside. Go, kind reminder, this is still a female snake. Spring has just passed. What do you say will happen? Terumi Mei was so frightened that her face turned pale. You be asterisk 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 D. If you dare to do this, I will kill you if I have a chance. As long as you speak out, we will remain friends. Bah. Who is your friend with this pervert? Shinzuki looked depressed and turned his head uncomfortably. I thought we were friends. Obviously we have made friends. This appearance and eyes seemed to be like a puppy abandoned by the owner in a snowy night, and it was distressing to see. Terumi could not bear it and said, we are friends. Your body temperature is higher than ordinary people, and you will feel it when you are close to you. So this is awe. If I didn't say it, I really didn't pay attention. Ono Shimaru mentioned it before, but I didn't care about it. Now it seems that it will affect the transformation technique? When walking by her in the morning, did she feel it keenly? Why is she so skilled? Advertisement. Why are you so proficient? How long have you been observing? Kyosuke's eyes widened and stepped back. Unexpectedly, this girl's observation was so nuanced. Horrible, horrible. Terumi Ming hurriedly blushed and defended. No, don't get me wrong. It was just in the hospital last time, when you changed my dressing. I was planning to explain, not to let Kyosuke mistakenly think that she was a frivolous girl, but suddenly thinking about the hospital, I was out of breath. Ah, is the decoration in your room really good? Unlike me, the decoration in your home is ordinary. Hastily changed the subject. But even if he was tied up, Terumi Ming burst into combat power, and his legs slammed into him at the same time. Wow. Catching her, he grinned and said, it's the first time I have met with a hug, it's really not good. A hand knife was cut on her neck, and he decided to let the girl sleep for a while. He took the snake that had tied her back, put it on the bed, covered the quilt, and then walked out disguised as Terumi Mei. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Taking advantage of the dark night, I found some cakes in the kitchen. The big family is the big family. The taste of the cakes does not poke. After eating and drinking, he patted his stomach and returned to Terumi Ming's room. This place is good, at least it is safe until Terumi wakes up. Sitting cross-legged in the room, I started thinking about how to lower my body temperature. His body temperature is a little higher than the average person because of his own abilities. It doesn't matter if he usually does it, but when he uses chakra, his body temperature will increase. For example, when using the transformation technique now, the body temperature is higher than before. No, you can't subconsciously extract the fire attribute chakra, you have to use the wind attribute. When others use the transformation technique, chakra has no attributes, but Shinjia has a special physique. Some ninjutsu that does not require attribute chakras uses fire attribute chakras. For example, ordinary people use the 3-body technique, and the chakras they use have no attributes, but he will use the fire attribute himself, which is subconscious. You have to change it, or you will kill yourself sooner or later. Began to mobilize himself chakra. Chakra had no attributes at the beginning. With the use of ninjutsu, the division of attributes began to appear. When ordinary people condense chakras to become ninjas, the same is true. Later, with the use of ninjutsu, the corresponding attribute investigations began to emerge in the body. Carrot. Advertisement. In addition to the 2 attributes of wind and fire at the beginning, Shinjia now also has the water attribute of chakra, but it is not as powerful as the previous 2. The energy of ninjas is limited. Generally, Shangnin is also good at 2 or 3 kinds of escape techniques. If there are too many, there will be no energy. Not everyone is a ninjutsu doctor like Sarutobi Hitoshi, who can freely switch 5 types of ninjutsu. Kyosuke began to switch his own fire chakras to non-attribute chakras, and his body temperature gradually returned to normal, which was not particularly difficult. After returning to normal, Shinjia took a piece of paper, swiped a big pen, and after writing a few words, he sneaked out of her house. Wake up early in the morning. Terumi Ming feels her neck hurts to death, remembering that Kyosuke is still in his room, and immediately sits up to check his clothes and found that he is neatly dressed and there is nothing unusual on his body. He breathes a sigh of relief and sees Kyosuke staying on the side of the bed. After the letter came down, I knew he was gone. I am leaving, bye. Who wants to see you be ********* D bye. Angrily tore up the paper, the one in the morning is not in a good mood. This time, Shinzuki came to Wuyin Hospital again. Order is restored here, although something goes wrong, the hospital has to be opened. The task assigned to him by Da Shiwan has not yet been completed, the blood succession boundary of the Ghost Lantern clan has been obtained, but the Shui Wuyue and Huie clan have not yet completed. Terumi Ming and his family don't think about it. The only special situation in that family should be Terumi Ming. She should be the only person who has 2 completely different blood inheritance boundaries. For the next 5 generations of Shui Ying, he doesn't want her to have an accident for the time being. If she uses it, the Terumi clan might go crazy, and it is more likely that Wuyin village and Konoha will smash to the end, and it may even cause powerful attacks from other villages. After all, blood succession boundary is an extremely important resource for the village. What does Konoha want to steal the blood after the limit? This kind of situation, they don't want to happen. If you steal 1 or 2, it's fine. If you steal too much, accidents can happen. Da Shiwan is too greedy. In order to study he really did everything. Kyosuke can only bite the bullet. He still wants to delay time. When Wuyin fights Konoha, his mission will be over. He came to Wuyin Hospital to step on a spot, and if he didn't fight, he still had to perform the task. Chapter 100. There are ghosts. After working as a nurse for a few days again, I found that the number of wounded in Wuyin Hospital had increased recently. It seemed that the war had started again, and it was still that kind of large scale. I don't know how many people have broken hands and feet. Shinzuki feels very tiring to treat the wounds of these ninjas every day. But I never thought about killing them, severed hands and feet. Basically, the life of a ninja is over, especially those who have severed hands. There is no hand knot, and the combat power is greatly reduced. Not everyone is high enough to be able to single-handedly and even directly without knot printing. Muji ninjutsu is not cheap. This group of people is not threatening. During the period, Shinzuki packed a corpse of the Huie clan and gave it to Dashuan. There was no way, the conditions were limited, and the group of sissies of Shui Wuyue were not moving. While he was working in the foggy hospital, 2 foggy shadows walked towards him. Squinted his eyes, he hasn't seen this group of guys here for several days, and I'm afraid something will happen suddenly. Sure enough, these guys approached and said, Mao Lilon, come with us. Okay. Smiling and nodding, the two misty shadows escorted him one after the other. After leaving the hospital and coming to the crossroads, Kiyomasan sneered coldly and punched the back of the hidden part of the fog in front of him. The flame exploded with a bang, igniting it and turning it into a torch. The misty shadow behind him was suddenly shocked, drew out a long knife, and slashed it off, but who knows, the blade easily traversed Shinji's body, only leaving an oblique line of fire on him. He turned around and punched and hit the mask of the guy behind him. The power was so powerful that even the mask was crushed together. Knowing that he was exposed, he couldn't stay longer, so he had to withdraw quickly. The movement here also attracted the attention of some people. Seeing Shinji assault on the street, he immediately rushed forward. Fire punch. A punch flew out, a large amount of flames gushing out along the street. The whole person turned into a flame, rushed into the flame, and charged with the fire fist. Suddenly, a figure came to the fire fist, Shui Dun water array. A wall of water stood in front of Kyosuke, forcing him to appear. The visitor was Kochi Tachibana Yakura. He was holding a thick stick with a hook-shaped head and a small green flower on it. He said solemnly, "You must never be allowed to do whatever you want here, Kyosuke Asakawa. Get off, you baby-faced." Shenhuo Shiranui. Condensing flames with both hands, he swung out suddenly, and two spears flew out and flew straight toward the Katachi Tachibana Yakura. Katachi Tachibana Yakura smashed the flame spear with the coral stick in his hand. Kyosuke bypassed him and fled straight away. He was exposed, although he didn't know the reason, but at least he knew that he couldn't stay here any longer. Gotta run. The body is elementized, lighter, and the speed is increased. On the feet, flames spray out, like a rocket propeller, pushing his body into the sky. Advertisement: this state cannot be maintained for too long, because it will double the chakra in his body, but the speed is fast enough. This flight didn't matter, it directly exposed his location, and a group of misty ninjas began to chase. Grab him. He is a disciple of Dashimaru, never let him go. Just catch him. Dashawan will throw a mouse. Don't dare to fight Wuyan easily. He will be our important bargaining chip. Shinzuki didn't hear the sounds like this, and rushed straight towards the misty gate that hadn't been repaired for a long time. Gate. MMP. Stop him. More than 100 misty ninjas have gathered at the gate. Water escape waterfront wall. Water escape waterfront wall. Water escape waterfront wall. Read more at hotmtlnovel.zi. Water escape waterfront wall. A dozen people used the waterfront wall together to form a tall water wall to stop Shinzuki. Water escape the art of water dragon bomb. Water escape the art of the great waterfall. Water escape the art of waterhorn. The offensive water escape and countless kunai and shuriken and kunai flew. Kyosuke stretched out his arms, folded his hands and crossed his fingers, then crossed his chest, opened his mouth and vomited. Water escape waterfront wall. The unique way of printing, the second generation of Hokage's improved waterfront wall. A large amount of water flow formed a wall, unexpectedly blocked all the attacks, and the cost is the double consumption of the chakra. Sure enough, the second generation of High Dun is not something ordinary people can play. The water escape of thousands of hands is very powerful. Similarly, it consumes a lot of chakras. It is not suitable for anyone to play. There are many chakras of the thousands of hands, which provides the foundation for the sea of thousands of hands. How is it possible? How could the waterfront wall have such a strong defense? Are we using the same technique? Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. Advertisement: the group of misty ninjas who used the water wall to stop Kyosuke just now began to doubt life. That kind of defensive water wall, they simply couldn't do it alone. If you let them know that Shinzuki is a professional playing with fire, I don't know if they will doubt life. Shui Dun water dragon bomb. Shinji's hands kept moving, and the water dragon roared and flew out, rushing into the crowd, killing all quarters, causing them to have to key in to resist, and it also provided Shinji with an opportunity. The fire dragons. Roaring. The thick pillar of fire erupted from the mouth, and the defensive formation formed by the group of misty ninjas was cut out a big hole. Ah, so hot. Help, I don't want to die yet. I have no results yet. After this battle, I still have to get married. Shinzuki immediately ran wildly. All shinobu villages are one way. It is very difficult to break through the barrier, so he has to go through the gate. Chase. Katachi Tachibana Yakura chased and followed closely behind him. In addition to him, there were Ao, Terumi Ming and a shark face. On his back, there was a big sword like a door, a large sword shark muscle. The master of the shark muscle has appeared. The name is Dried Persimmon Ghost Shark. Never let this be ********** D run away. Terumi Ming gritted her teeth. This guy must not be merciless. Ching followed behind, locked Chingsuk's figure with white eyes, and said, "It's about a kilometer away from us. Speed up everyone, we can't let him run away." Mr. Ching's ability is really convenient. Is it a kilometer? Chase it, everyone. Even though the dried persimmon ghost shark is carrying the shark muscle, the speed is still not slow, and a group of people speeds up. Behind them are a large group of misty ninjas. The door of the house was bombed. Konoha ninja was really rampant, and someone stepped on the skin of his face. How could they endure it? Ninjas, there are times when they can't stand it. Who on earth is this group of lingering guys leaking my identity? He only reported his whereabouts to Oshimaru. That is to say, someone stole his secret letter from Oshimaru. Is there a ghost in the village? Damn, I'll do this after I go back. Now, it's still important to escape.